meu filho.
Daqui a pouco tem onde foi sucesso.
Ah, obrigado.
Eu boto lá, pessoal. Uau.
Boa tarde.
Interessa.
Oi, Marilene.
Yeah, I'm hairstyle.
Yeah? What, barber? What do you mean? Shopping. Verdade.
Vou pegar uma cerveja. Bom dia.
Oh, okay. Yeah, why not? Charles Barkley. Sir Charles.
You?
Okay, yeah.
This is Big J's Escapes. Welcome to my channel again, people. Please, if it's your first time following my channel, please go and check out my old content. I've done a lot of content on Dominican Republic, been to France. I ain't been to much places, but please go and check out my content. Smash that like button. It's very important because it helps the channel. So please go and do that. Also, it gives you a notification as well for my new videos and that. I will be doing them more. But anyway, welcome to Listener News, my new show where I'll be interviewing travelers around the world that like to travel. So now I want to bring on a friend that I met years ago through brother Skip. Salute, Skip. I met him in Santo Domingo. So I'm just going to be asking him, you know, about his travels and what made him start traveling. So without no further ado, I am going to add to the stage Mr. Damian James. How you doing, my brother? Long time no see.
I'm good. How you doing, Jay? Good to see you, bro.
Boy, things could be better, bro, but you know, it is what it is. Stuck in England, you know, raining. 1 minute it's raining, next actually, tell a lie, we've had sunny spells. I'm not gonna lie, we've had a few sunny spells, but then you know we have that and then you get a thunderstorm. So I've been waking up with headaches, sore throat, you know, typical English. It never stays consistent. You already know that.
That for sure.
I'm telling you, man, it's London, England, London, the whole UK. It's something else. It's really something else. Anyway, bro, so as I said, welcome to Listening News. It's great to have you. I remember meeting you a couple of years ago from, well, through a brother named Skip. This was in Santo Domingo. But before that, I want to kind of go back into your history because I know you're an avid traveler. So I want to go back into your history, back to London where it all started. So please tell us whereabouts in London you're from.
Okay, yeah, I grew up in Enns, aka South London, Lewisham. So anyone who knows that area knows it's not too bad still, but it's got its reputation. But when you grow up there, it's normal. You know what I'm saying? No, you don't even realize that's just a normal neighborhood. So when you get older and leave, people start saying, "Oh, for real?" You know what I mean? That you get that maybe where you're from, Tottenham as well. People give you that kind of reaction still. But when you're a kid, it's normal ends, isn't it? Still. So, but yeah, it was fine. It was fine growing up. Definitely helps. Growing up there helps later on in life for sure. Definitely.
So was it like a crime-ridden? Was it a crime-ridden area where you're from?
Yeah.
Obviously, like you said, it was normal, but to those who haven't, you know.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's got its reputation. I've met other people from outside of Britain wouldn't even know what it is, really. But British people, when they hear my area, they're like, "Oh my days." Okay, and they're a lot of us scared. They shouldn't be, but they are scared to go there and whatnot, you know. So, but it's fine. It's fine. As long you got to just learn though. Growing up, it's just a natural feeling. Like learn that. I've got to analyze since then when people come to my ends and they've been robbed and people have been starting them or not. You know what I mean? Starting them a lot. Where that don't happen to me ever. And I was like, why is that? It's because they give off an energy that they're scared. But when you're from there, you can't feel. It's just a natural feeling that you can never be scared. So whatever situation you're in, whoever is around you, the one thing you can't do is like shook. So yeah, there's definitely help where later on in life when I've traveled for sure, I can be a different environment and whatnot.
Street smarts about you in growing up in South London. You got to have your street smarts.
I never thought I had, but clearly I have, because I've got friends that been out in certain countries, been robbed so easily, quickly, and got into so much situations where that never happens to me. So definitely growing up there definitely helped. I've got Indian grandparents as well, so I used to get kind of like dumped at their house in like West London, Hounslow. They're Asian on them sides. So I think because they're talking Indian stuff, I didn't really understand what they're saying, but you're a kid, you don't really care, you're just there. And that definitely helped me in other countries, I think, looking back on it, because I can just be around a load of foreigners, they're talking their foreign stuff. I don't know what they're saying, but I don't care, it don't bother me. Where I've been away with English friends, white and black, and it's kind of like, they don't like it. They don't like it at all when foreigners are talking around them and stuff like that, and where it don't really bother me. I don't really care. I'm in their country at the end of the day, they're going to be talking foreign. So, you know what I mean? If I ain't going to learn it, and it's hard to learn foreign. As a British person, it's hard to learn because we're a monolingual country, you know what I'm saying? We don't learn that second language all the time. Unless you got immigrant parents. I do have immigrant parents, but they didn't teach me nothing. So, I never had that ability. So, I'm half Indian and half Indian. My mom's from India. She came over at 5 with her family. So, yeah, that's that. They lived in West London, kind of Hounslow area. And then she moved to Ends around, like she was like 18 or stuff. So that's why she met my dad there. That relationship didn't last long, a few years. So they split up, got new partners and whatnot. And then my dad, he's a Scouser. So he's actually mostly Irish with a bit of Italian mixed in there, basically. That's his blood. Yeah.
So that's why you're a horrible Liverpool supporter. Makes sense.
Well, I'm blessed to support the best team. You know what I mean? My second team's Millwall, so you know what I mean. That's my local team, but we've got Millwall about it. So I'm blessed that I get to support Liverpool because of my old man still. So I've had some great nights watching that.
What was school like?
It was alright still. I wasn't really a studier, but growing up in Ends, it's people ain't that educated, really. They're not that smart, I ain't gonna lie. So just being like half in means I was in top set with doing zero work. Demographic wise, I'd say it's like half white, half black. My school with a few Indians and that Chinese mixed in that Catholic school. So it was that kind of shit. Yeah, so but it's fine. It was all good. No issues. You know what I mean? Some crazy times on the buses and that on the way to school and that. But yeah, it just makes you.
You're bringing back memories, man. Oh God, the bus, the back of the bus. Oh, you're bringing back memories, man. Don't. You know how much man I get on the back of the bus.
Yeah, we don't really. They moved to London, like, as I call them, working tourists. You move to London when you're an adult, you don't know what it's about. You come on the streets every day doing that stuff. They're the real Londoners. You know what I'm saying? Everyone else, I don't care if you're from Manchester or Mumbai. You ain't a Londoner. You ain't from Ends. So you know what I mean. You should have more respect for the people who are up there. Because boy, when we travel to other parts of Britain or the world, we got to have respect for the locals, where we don't get that in London. People just come and start flagging it off, saying, shit, people here are this and that. And I'm like, no, come on, have a bit of respect. Because I remember living in Liverpool, going to different countries. Yeah, if you disrespect the locals, you're done. You are done, you know what I mean? So, that's number one, respect. To respect the locals. Because, yeah.
Did you travel when you were young? Did you travel
I
when you were
remember
young? Like other
a little bit. I remember because my mum and dad split up, it was like childcare was a bit of an issue. So I remember getting like packed off to Italy with my sister on our own on a plane at like 8. They had some Italian friends in Italy. So that was through the whole summer as well. So I remember that must have made us more interested. Yeah. So that definitely on the plane by yourself and with these Italians, I didn't really know. Again, they're talking their foreign stuff. So at the end of the day, it wasn't that big a deal. Again, though, that kind of stuff later on in life probably helps, where you can just go away to these foreign countries and not that big a deal.
So you started traveling from young then. So from 8 years old, you was already on a plane going to Italy.
One trip. I'm trying to think of other trips. I remember I went to Dam when I was 17 for like a long weekend with friends. I remember doing that. Then my first serious trip abroad, I would say, because I went to uni at 18 and met guys that kind of posh, went from posh schools. They do, back then anyway, people from where I'm from don't go to places like Thailand, yeah? But they do. They go to more, back then anyway, you know what I mean? More exotic places. And he went there and he's telling me all these mad stories, how amazing it was and this and that. I was like, are you for real? So no wonder I got one of my boys from ends. I was like, bro, we gotta go to this Thailand, man. I've heard it's nuts, man. I heard it's crazy out there still. So this is well over 20 years ago now. And used our student loans, just pulled the flats and just spent a whole like month out there when we were about like 19 or something, 20 or something like that. And man, best time of my life still. Great holiday still. So Thailand always had a special place in my heart from then. And then, you know, it's like in Britain, you're always doing little trips to Europe here and there, you know what I'm saying? So I went down a lot of times, like France and Germany and little places like that, Spain. So yeah, that. But for me, it's always the more exotic places, further afield, you know what I mean? Tropical countries, that's always been my kind of like, you know what I mean? My go-to, for sure.
So the seed was kind of already planted in terms of traveling from the age of 8 years old, basically. The seed was already planted.
Stuff like that, being around foreigners and they're talking their foreign, you don't understand, but again, it don't bother me. Like 80% of human communication is non-verbal. So you get a vibe for people. You know, you don't have to understand what they're saying, but you're getting vibes and their energy to know if it's like you're in trouble or they're trying to start on you, if they're chatting about you or whatever. If they are, who cares what they're saying? You know what I mean? If they're not trying to fight you or whatever, who cares what they're saying? You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, where we grew up here, especially where everywhere's kind of easy because people ain't that nice where I'm from, really. I mean, at the time it's normal. When you go to other towns and other cities, other countries, they're just nicer. I remember my sister used to, she saw me being nice to anyone, these are beggar friend, you know what I mean? Begging a friend, you know what I mean? So just talking normally, you know what I mean? Nice to people. So most places are just more friendly and nicer than where I'm from anyway. So I find them kind of easy, not that big a deal still. So yeah, definitely. It's all put together, isn't it? As a kid, all your experiences get put together and then looking back, you know what I mean? People, how I can go to these countries and be fine, you know what I mean? Nothing bad's happened to me. And I'm with the people as well. I'm not living with the tourists and stuff. Like, I'm on a budget as well, so yeah.
So the seed was planted already. You traveled when you were younger. As you got into your adolescence, college, uni, you done a whole month in Thailand with some friends, came back, now you're in the adult world, now you're working. What was your work history like? What was your work history like?
So, I went to uni, Liverpool, studied international development. I only went to Liverpool so I could go to the games, ain't gonna lie. That's what I chose. Istanbul, I was there my last year there. I went to all the games, ended up in Istanbul. You know that final.
So you went to the Champions League final? I didn't know you went to the Champions League final. Damn.
Yeah.
Is that when you
won against you lot? I went 2005 against Milan, the 3-3 down. Gerard
And
comes
then
back.
you came back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that game. Yeah, I remember that game. That game's a classic. Was it Gerard
That game was.
It was Gerard that closed the whole thing down, innit? Gerard closed that whole
he
game
got the
down. Yeah.
Then he set up. He got the penalty. Xabi Alonso scored the penalty. But it was
remember that game.
6 minutes. We got back to 3-0 down. 6 minutes in that second half, back to 3-3. Then we went back to playing trap again, basically. That Milan team was Hall of Fame. Every player, Maldini,
Listen.
Cafu, Kaká,
If that weren't the
had, like,
comeback of the century, if that weren't the
Yeah.
comeback of the century, I don't know what was. Right? Because that
think-
game.
Yeah, it's true. I forgot about that. My football trips as well. I've done a few. Been to Germany, to World Cup, seen Liverpool in Istanbul and Athens. Went 2 years later to Athens. We lost. So yeah, I've done a few trips with the football as well. Yeah, so that's cool.
Yeah, that
So,
game.
what were you saying?
I
Yeah,
never
so-
forget that game. I never forget that game. You guys are definitely the comeback kings. I thought the dance was done. When you guys was down 3-0, I said, yeah, that's it. Liverpool, that's it. It's done. It's done. When you guys came back,
Half-time.
I was like, what? My uncle, I remember when you guys won, my uncle literally ran out in the street.
Yeah, man. Greatest game, bro. Great. At halftime, man, we were just like, man, we've come all this way. We're going to go back to England. It's going to be so embarrassing.
Man.
Everyone's going to be cussing. But we got up and sung "You'll Never Walk Alone" at halftime. Yeah. All our fans can be fans. They're like, we've got to sing for our team. So we sang "You'll Never Walk Alone" at halftime. 3-0 down. Apparently the players heard it. Who knows? But then they came out and did some mad stuff still. So
yeah, I remember when we
great.
won the champ. I remember when we won the Champions League. It was such a beautiful day. But then I woke up.
Then you woke up, yeah.
I woke up. You know, I had to face reality. You know.
We got too much experience in Europe, bro. We end up playing Real Madrid. Yeah,
I had to
we got to
convince
play you.
myself with the Carabao Cup.
Yeah, go for the Carabao, bro. Get that one.
We'll hope for that. We'll hope for that. That's all forget the league, forget Champions League. The Carabao Cup, you know, hey, it is a trophy, you know. But moving on. So you're in the work. So you're working now. You're in the adult world.
Yeah.
You're working now. What was your work ethic like? What was you doing for jobs?
So I came back to London, early 20s, obviously, and just got jobs in like sales, insurance brokerage. I was actually working the Gherkin on the 28th floor for a few months still.
Okay.
Yeah, that was good. The views are amazing. It was a good experience. But it wasn't, I was young still, and it was hardcore. Like I did that for a while. It was a good experience around a lot of kind of posh city type people up there still. And then done a few admin jobs and stuff like that around my area. Ended up working in a school, became like a mentor of some of the kids in there, South London school, Deptford Green. So it's quite a famous school in the neighborhood. But yeah, a lot of the kids have got troubled backgrounds and that, but it's fine. I kind of like, they related to me. I always ended up with the craziest, most like violent kids because not many of the staff could control them, where I could control them, to be honest. So if they're with me, they ain't gonna do nothing crazy because they don't care about the teacher. They don't really care about education at school because they've got so much stuff going on, issues and that. But at the end of the day, I made them give an F about me type of thing. I was like, look, at the end of the day, I know you don't want to behave, you just swearing at the kids and like they're swearing at other kids in the class or whatever and they want to fight. So I've got to then control the other kids, start on them. You know what I mean? And just be like, get them to like, look, for me, just like chill out, yeah, please. And it's not like I'm the oldest of 6. I'm from that neighborhood. So it was, I can find a way for them to like at least respect me and do what I want them to do at least. And if they want to leave the class, I'll take them out of the class or whatever, you know what I mean? It's like controlling them so they can get through a school day, that type of thing, you know what I mean? Because these kids end up in they do something violent, they get kicked out, and then it's hard for them to ever get back into a school, you know what I mean? So that was good as well, working there with the kids. At least you're doing, it wasn't great pay, but at least you're doing something that can help a lot of the kids, you know what I mean? And I was respected there by the kids as well. So that was cool. Still, a lot of the teachers, they needed me as well. Because some of these teachers are white middle class teachers. They ain't from where we're from. So they try and control.
There was no understanding.
Like,
There was no understanding.
Some of them are scared. Some of the teachers were shook of the kids and that. I was like, well, you're definitely not going to get respect if you're shook and that. And then the way they talk to the kids as well, like, at the end of the day, these kids don't care. So the first few times you talk to them, it's like, talk to them like a normal human being. Yeah, like if I've met you, I'm not going to be telling you, no, don't do this, don't do that. You talk normally and you give them respect. And look, give them some kind of positive stuff to think about or say to them the first few times. Yeah. Then when you do have to tell them no, it's not the first thing they've heard from you. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, but it was fine. It was cool. It was good. I never had to write when there's a serious incident, you got to write a statement. I never had to do that. Where most staff that are doing my job were writing statements every week. It was just nuts. And then I'm not working that day. I'm not working for that child that day. And then they've done an incident because they're not paying attention. Then other member of staff, they've like stabbed someone with a compass. They got their private parts out or something, showed it to a girl or some mad crazy stuff. Yeah, they're getting kicked out. And I was like, what? These kids don't do that when I'm there because I'm watching them. I'm observing them. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's your job. Let them, you know what I mean? But anyway, it is what it is. So that was cool. Had some issues outside of the thing with police. So I ended up kind of not being able to work at the school still. I got to resign. I was on full pay for a year and stuff. But yeah, I had a couple of plants in my crib. So police kind of found, they weren't even looking for me. But yeah, they kind of found that. And yeah, so I ended up doing, just working in, what was it, like just doing deliveries really. Yeah, takeaway, Pizza Hut, then a Thai place, yeah. It was ironic that I love Thailand and then I worked in a Thai restaurant, eating Thai food every day. The staff there were amazing. Thai people love me, so I loved them. So that was cool. Love Thai food as well. So that was all right. Well, it was all right. It's not a great job to be doing, you know what I mean? But you're grinding, you know what I mean? You've got to survive, you're grinding and that. And just driving around ends. And yeah, it was fine. You know what I mean? No one gave me no trouble ever. So, but at the end of the day, it's not exactly the job that you think, all right, yeah, this is a career, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, what it was though, like I actually got in a relationship with a Cubana, actually, yeah. So that didn't work out too well, and that's what made me kind of think, all right, I might leave England now, basically.
So a woman made you leave England?
Yeah, because I didn't even want to marry her, to be honest. Basically, I was going to Thailand all the time, having a great time, because when you work in a school, you get that 6 weeks off in the summer. So it's like, all right, I'll go to Thailand, just there for a few weeks, great time, come back to England and stuff. I had a few relationships in England, but then I went to Cuba one time with a couple of friends from ends and met a girl there and went to stay with a family in the middle of Cuba, bro. This place is country and there's no cars, there's horse and carts, back then there's no internet. It was another world, bro. Like the first time I met a family, they just killed a chicken right in front of me. The chicken's running around, no word of a lie. Running around, headless chicken. That's where that expression comes from. When you kill a chicken, I never knew that. I'm from. We don't have chickens where I'm from. It just starts running around in that. I'm like, oh my days. So we got pigs in yards. So that's the way they make money in Cuba. Cuba's communist. They're like, $20 a month. That's a standard wage. I remember giving our auntie $10.
Whoa. Time out. What do you mean $20 a month?
Correct.
Are you serious?
That is the wage, $18 to $20. If you're a security guard, you work at the school, you're earning about that. So teachers give that stuff up. So they've got two currencies. So they've got their national currency, which is like tourists don't even see that currency most of the time. And then the Cuban kind of currency
it
that's
puck?
linked to the dollar.
Or puck?
Yeah.
Is it the puck?
Yeah, I think it's Cook. Cook is the one that's linked to the
Puck or
dollar.
something, yeah.
The nationals, which is the one that's like there's about 40 national to $1, something like that. I remember giving the uncle $5 in the book, and he had never seen it before. He didn't even know what I was giving to him. This is an old man, never seen that before. Like they're working in the fields for a few dollars. The food is kind of subsidized, so they get a certain amount of rice, a small amount of chicken and meat, beans or whatever per month. Yeah, and they're living off that. And then everyone's got a hustle on the side, so they might have pigs. They get baby pigs, fatten them up. I even bought pigs, you know what I mean, for the family type of thing. I saw a bit of them, but that's another story. Yeah, and they fatten them up over time, and then you sell the pigs. Yeah, when they're bigger. And yeah, people eat them and that. You sell the meat and stuff like that. People do that with chickens as well. So I remember they worked in an ice cream factory. They used to like steal ice cream, big kind of like, and then sell like the cups of ice cream. I gave them a PlayStation 3, yeah. They would then like for a few dollars or half a dollar or something, whatever, they charge kids from the local area to come play the PlayStation in their crib for like a couple of hours. Everyone's hustling out there. They say it's communist, but they're hustlers. They're obsessed with money. So they're like, yeah, it is how it is. People just got to hustle and survive, basically, out there.
What I'm trying to understand, just, staying on Cuba,
yeah.
how are people living on $20 a month? Like, what, is the government giving them free food? Is it free electricity?
They have their family home that they've had forever, so not paying a mortgage or rent, okay?
Right.
You know what I mean? If you go to the countryside to Havana, then that's where you're going to have to be paying rent or whatever. Or you might have a family member, they might put you in a spare room or a bed or whatever. People have their family home for generations, so they're not paying rent or mortgage. That's the first. Electricity, water is just bare cheap, if anything, yeah, out there, subsidized. So your bills aren't that much. You're getting a bit of food each month. If you do have to buy food, it's rice. A lot of them have family abroad in Florida or places like that, so some will send money abroad. Okay. They're hustlers in the black market. So you'll have your job, maybe, where you're earning your $20, $25 a month, okay? Then, and they like, their money is, they're not, so just spend money on clothes. Like the young people are just obsessed. They're like Latin America, the young people are kind of posers. Like they don't have the money to do it, but they'll just spend use money for like eating and stuff. You know what I mean? The older ones are more responsible, but again, they're living off their parents and stuff like this, or they got a little business or whatever. So yeah, selling ice cream or PlayStation, pigs. But teachers stopped being a teacher to be like a uni driver. You know, the guys that ride the bikes and you could go in the back of the bike and you get to travel up and down, or, you know, they do that kind of stuff. Yeah. And you got good, like the richest guy in the town had 3 cars, basically. So he was rich and he would rent the cars out. And even for me, petrol's quite expensive there. So I was paying like $50 to get to the airport. I paid like $50. It's probably rinsing me, but it's, you know what I mean? Like cheapest will probably be $35, $40 anyway. So $50. So he's making money on that. He'll pay the driver some money or whatever, pays for the gas. You know what I mean? So yeah, like it's mad how people survive out there, but they do. Like they'll drink their rum, their cheap rum. It's nuts. And the mad, it's a communist society, like it's a police state basically, so they're petrified of the police. It's one of the safest countries you can go to because people ain't gonna really be robbing you on the street. They might rob in secret because the dad always had like a machete under his bed or something. Like if someone tried to put bars on the windows, you've been lying around, you see all the bars on the windows. So people can't, I think there's robberies, but it's kind of like that kind of robberies at night time, that type of thing. But yeah, no one ever tried to rob me ever there. No one will ever try and rob you ever. Yeah, they might try and con you, talk you into giving them money somehow or this or that, but not like a straight out robbery. No.
So would you say Cuba's safe?
Yeah, 100%. I think even now it would be safe for tourists still. Yeah. I haven't been there for a few years, but I don't think it's changed that much. Like the people are petrified. because we'd have to tell the local government that I was staying there, because it was illegal for me to be staying with a family, even though I was married to her and stuff. I married her after 2 years, basically. And even though I'm there, and with the fact that like I should be staying in an official like kind of what's it called, an apartment, basically. It's like families, but they're paying taxes to the government, and it's all registered, and you put your name in and everything. You pay your money, and then that part of that money is taxed and gets given to the government. So it's illegal. And I was just lie to the police, don't say I'm there or whatever, but they were petrified. The family was petrified. They know they don't lie to police, where we just lie our face. We're not in a corporate, like, it's not perjury to lie to the police, is it, where we're from? So we just lie. Well, why would you tell them the truth? You know what I mean? For about anything. So, yeah, no, it's another game. It's another.
Hold on a minute.
Go on.
So, because before I went to Dominican Republic, I was going to go Cuba. So you're telling me that in Cuba, you have to stay with a family. You can't stay in a hotel.
You can't. No, the hotels are hotels are obviously part of that system as well. So all hotels, official places, hotels. But I don't really like to stay in the hotels. I like to, one, budget-wise, and two, you're with the people more, so you're giving money directly to the people. If you're staying with the locals, it's like a bed and breakfast, but it's an official thing. You can't just be like, you can't have a black. People do it, but they're breaking the law. I mean, like a.
So if I've got a girlfriend in Cuba, if I've got a girlfriend in Cuba and I want to stay, just say she lives with her parents, and I want to stay with the parents and give them a little board, that's illegal.
They're breaking the law. It's a communist police state, bro. So it's not like any other country you would have gone to. It's not as bad as North Korea, but it ain't like Dominican or Colombia or any of them, Brazil. Nah.
Wow.
It's communist. It's everything is the police. The government is trying to make money from every way possible. They want no tourists staying there. They want the tourists staying where they're making money off that tourist every night. They want tourists staying off the books. Nah, they want to make money off you, bro. That's the whole point why they want tourists there. So yeah, that's how it is out there. I've got a girlfriend,
and then she says, "Oh, come to my house, come and stay." I live with my parents. I've got my own room. If the police catch me there, they can get persecuted.
You'll be all right. You might get a fine, but they'll be in bigger trouble. They'll be in big trouble still.
Wow.
They'll be in big trouble.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you said you got married to a Cuban?
Yeah. At the end of the day, Britain, like, I wanted her to come to England. You fall in love and whatnot. To come to England and stuff and see how it goes, you know what I mean, that type of thing. But we don't like Cubans because Cubans are so poor. The chances of a Cuban ever going back when they should is very slim, really. That's the way the British government looks at it. So there's so many loopholes you got to do. You got to get married first. She's then got to pass an English test, like to have a level of English. She failed that the first time, so I had to pay for a teacher. I was teaching her as well, but she needed like classroom kind of teaching as well. Even the phone calls to Cuba are like 50, 60 quid a month and stuff. It's crazy, bro, the phone calls to Cuba at the time. Yeah, because it's not like the other countries you get them cheap cards. It wasn't like that. It was mad still. It was mad. Cuba was probably one of the worst countries I could have chosen, like in that respect.
Wow.
So it was hard to.
There was no WhatsApp at the time. There was no WhatsApp at the time.
She didn't even have. I got her a phone. She didn't even have a phone. People don't really have phones there, but I got her a phone. How do we communicate? On the Facebook, I think. But yeah, she didn't even have internet. You'd have to go to a place and like a kind of Wi-Fi park, or someone would have like internet, and they would hotspot people and things like that, and you'd be paying them for a bit of internet for every half an hour or whatever. Yeah, it's mad. It might be different now. This was a few years ago. We broke up around end of 2019. Yeah, because it was all the pandemic. So 2019. So we were together for about 6.5 years in total from there. So I'm talking about 14, 15, 16, them kind of times when I was going out there a lot. Yeah, we had 100 people at our wedding. About 6 of my family came over. So it was a big, yeah, my family had a great time. They loved Cuba as well, meeting the two families coming together. It was a great wedding, great day. And yeah, it was a good times back then anyway, good times back then. But she never stepped foot in England, so it kind of just fizzled out. And I'm in a long distance relationship. I wasn't really getting anything out of the relationship, really. I'm working and grinding back in London, like supporting her and her family or whatever. Like, so her family crib got bigger and nicer during the years I was with her, you know what I mean? So, but it's fine, they were good people, so I'm happy I helped them still.
It's just that the long distance just killed it.
So I don't recommend that to anyone. If you fall in love or whatever with someone, but you kind of got to decide if she's going to come out to you or if you're going to go to there. I don't suggest doing it for too long. But I didn't realise it would be that long. It just got dragged out because of the British government. I had to even prove I earned a certain wage, so I was kind of like doing stuff on the side to try and show like fake incomes and here and there and stuff like this to show I've got a certain income. Yeah, it's mad still. I just laughed. Well, getting married, that's just the first thing. Oh, another English test, and now you got to prove your income and all this. So I had to get an accountant and stuff like this. Yeah, all money. She never even came. So I was like, okay, what the hell? I was like, I was doing my job for a while, and I was like, the thing is about London, yeah, it's a great city, one of the world's great cities. The whole world goes to London, yeah. So you're living there, everyone comes to it. Maybe this is the place to be. But for us, it's home. It's nothing special. London's special for people not from London, especially other parts of Britain. Foreigners, I think, go there for work, or they're from another country that ain't that great, and they go London. It's like amazing. It's like wow. And most of the other British towns and that are dead compared to London. It's boring ass white Brit towns. So they go London, it's like, wow, the multicultural, the different, you know what I mean, things that are going on, some mad random people that are there, and there's always something happening, places to go, people to see, you know what I mean? But to us, it's home, it's normal. And mine is kind of grimy, so it's not like I'm around the best friendliest people on road all the time. I didn't have any problems, but, you know what I mean? People step into you, or there's cracking. You know it's that, so it's not that. It is what it is. I always had and loved going abroad, so I was like, man, let me do what skills do I have? Well, I'm a native English speaker. Let me get online, do an English course, TEFL. It's called Teaching English as a Foreign Language. Okay, if you've got that qualification, yeah, you can get it for about 50 quid and do an online course. Yeah, 120 hours or whatever. So that's what I did. I was doing my deliveries. Is
it an ESOL? Is it an ESOL qualification?
Kinda. There's a lot of different companies out there. Yeah, TEFL. So Google it, and then you'll find, for anyone who wants to do it, you can Google it and get the reviews and see which ones. I'll send you the details of the company I use and the one I went to and that. But people just want to see that you passed, that you've got, like, there's different hours, 60 hours, 100 hours. I did 120 hours. The more hours you do, the better. Okay. There's even ones more expensive that kind of you get in-class training and teaching and stuff like that. Yeah, I did that because I was like, if I got that abroad, I can try and, you've got another string to your bow, you can try and teach out there in these countries, you know what I mean? Yeah.
So you went, so basically, your marriage went down the pan. You were still working in England, and you decided that, you know what, I'm going to do a teaching course. I'm presuming you were going to do this teaching course because you wanted to continue traveling. Am I right in thinking that?
Because I was like, well, I'm going to live abroad. I need like a skill that will pay me money. And as a native English speaker, we've got that against all of the world, basically. We've got that advantage. So people want native English people. Us, Americans, Canadians, Aussies, them kind of people still. So I was like, okay, get that done. That was around 2019, I started that. And I love Thailand, but Thailand is, one, it's my favorite country. And I was like, if I go there, I'll never leave. Let me see a bit more of the world. Thailand is a bit tricky to stay long term as well. So someone met an American friend I met in Thailand, which in Colombia years ago, years. So I was like, I have to go to Colombia and see what it's like. So I went around February 2020, just before the pandemic, which was God blessed me on that. Because if I'd left it any later, I wouldn't have been able to go, and it could have really changed things. So I went there. I was a bit down from the relationship going in, not being good, but then went to Colombia for a month. Had a great time. But the Colombians I met out there, because I'm out there by myself, don't even talk back to the Spanish really. Been going to Cuba and I learned some basics, but I wasn't too much because I was trying to teach my wife English. You know what I mean?
Right.
So my Spanish wasn't great, but the Colombians I met, you're crazy. You don't even know anyone here. You're going from here, there, everywhere. I rocked up in Bogota. I booked an Airbnb. It said center of the town. And I came out at night, I'm walking around, and it was like, oh my God, this is like crackhead central. It was ghetto. It was ghetto still. And I'm middle of Bogota, like some ends that's okay, it's grimy. I was like, don't speak. Lucky I kind of looked Latin, and they thought, everyone just thought I was another Colombian. It was cold and I had jeans on, so I was dressed like them as well, which is lucky as well. I tried to go on some dates. I met on chicks on like Tinder and whatnot. The chicks wouldn't even come. These are Colombian girls from Bogota, wouldn't come to my area in the daytime. That was where I was. For a few days, I was fine. But the thing is, in Bogota, it is freezing. At nighttime, it's crazy cold. It was like 4 degrees, February, 4 degrees at nighttime. No heating, bro. No heating at nighttime. This is too. I'm colder here than I'm putting in England, because in England we've got heating. So I was there freezing. I was like, nah, let me get to Cali. I looked at Cali's a hot place, part of Colombia. So I jumped on a flight. You can get cheap flights out there, $40 out there, whatever.
Wow.
So I jumped off Cali. It's like, okay, spent a few days in Cali, nice weather. Then I was like, okay, where else is there to go in Colombia? Medellin. All right, I kind of met a girl online. I think I was on the site Colombian Cupid, one of those sites. So I'd met a few girls online, had a few video chats with them in England before I got out there. So I had a few connections out there, which was good. You need that out there as well. You need to, at least you got some places to go, people to meet, and nowhere to like. Every time I got on a plane or a bus, end up chatting, sitting next to a Colombian person. I made a friend for life. I'm still friends with some of them now, like from that time. Yeah, because Colombians, they appreciate that you're in their country more. Certain countries are not bothered, you know what I mean? They ain't bothered that you're there. But Colombians, nah, they're not, for the troubles of the cartels. Tourism isn't that high out there, so they kind of like appreciate when you're out there. And if I'm on a plane or luckily they spoke English. These are kind of a bit more middle class, educated guys, so they can speak English. And they were like, "Oh, this guy is all right. Yeah, let's party with him." Basically, so I partied with some guys. Yeah, great friends, great friends.
So what made you leave Colombia? What made you leave?
Well, I was only there for a month. I was there because I've never been. I was like, let me go for a month.
Yeah.
See if I like it. Go back to England, work 3 months, 4 months, stack, and then go and move out there and whatnot. Yeah, because it's very cheap out there. So that was the plan. Got back though, and the pandemic killed everything. Remember that 2020, March 2020, basically everything. The whole world.
2020. Well, I think it was 2021. The pandemic.
No. Pandemic started March. I've got all my dates. It was March 2020 it started, and it rolled over into 2021.
You're actually right. You are actually right. It was March 2020. No, you're actually right. I do. That was the first wave. I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're correct.
So the whole world got locked down, unfortunately. But Colombia was fine. I did Medellin for a few days. I stayed in another small kind of town, the suburb of Medellin called Sabaneta. Had some good times there. And then I went to, Cartagena. That's a nice spot up there as well. But it's hustler central, ain't gonna lie. So they could spot me a mile away, the hustlers up there. Yeah, they just was like, because I like to party and whatnot, and you know what I mean, you end up your phone up there, they'll just see you a mile off. A lot of them speak English. So I got into a few incidents up there, but nothing too serious. I knew I could control the situation more or less. But again, Cartagena, I would say you got to be careful up there if you're on your own, especially. Try and go with a friend up there if you're ever up there. The great time though is Barranquilla for carnival time. So it's February in the
I heard about that.
carnival. Yeah, carnival time in Barranquilla, man. I had amazing experiences up there. Great times up there.
Nice,
some
man.
cool people.
So the pandemic, you ended up back home, you said?
Yeah. Well, that was different. I could be on road and keep doing my job. Yeah.
Right.
So that kind of, I loved it because the whole streets was empty. It was like ghost town. Around my area, it's 20, like on that, it used to be 30 and they put it down to 20 because everyone drives 10 miles over, innit? So you don't have to drive at 20. Unfortunately, immigrants do because they don't know the laws that you can drive 10 miles over. So, but anyway, I loved it, man, because you're usually just stuck in traffic. It's boring as hell. But so I was there and I could tell roadmen are doing their thing as well with their Beamers and Mercs and whatnot. And I'm Ford Fiesta and we're doing 50s, bro. Like, just going mad still. Because you know where I look for police. If the police are there, I slow down. If they can't know where the cameras are, I slow down. But yeah, it's loving it, man, driving up there. So it wasn't too bad. But when they started to let people back on the streets around July, August times, I was like, man, I don't know. Now, from being able to just drive fast and loving it, doing my deliveries and whatnot. Everyone else is locked inside, but they're letting people out on road now, and it's just you're stuck in traffic again. And I was like, no, I've got to leave. Where the hell's open? And the only place that was open in the world was Dominican Republic. I remember calling up an estate agent. They sent me an interactive map, and like on an email, and you click on the whole world is red, like, and there's this tiny bit of green. I was like, what the hell is this place? Dominican, DR. I was like, okay, what the hell is this place? Googled it a bit. All right, they took Spanish. Cost of living's cheap. They usually have a lot of tourism. Crime is kind of high, but they do have a lot of tourism. So it's kind of like, okay. My whole family and friends are saying, don't do it. Don't go. It's crazy. Crazy. Don't do it. And I was like, nah, I'm not happy where I am. I'm not happy in the situation where I am. I'd already decided I wanted to leave England. I'm leaving. Yeah. I had to kind of issue the passport. They lost my passport office. So it took ages to come. As soon as it arrived, man, I booked that flight within an hour, a week later. So I had to pack up everything, sell everything that I had, give it to friends or whatever. All my possessions, I got into one big bag and a rucksack. Everything that I'm taking abroad is in that, basically. And yeah, just left. The Airbnb that I booked for a month in Boca Chica. And the Airbnb
is that where you first landed? Is that where you first went? Yeah.
Well, I landed in Domingo, obviously the capital, but then Boca Chica is just a holiday seaside place on the outskirts.
Yeah, it's just up the road.
So they picked me up from the Airbnb peeps, and I was telling them my story. They thought I was crazy to be going out there. I didn't know anyone, didn't Spanish and all that. They thought I was crazy. They're like, what are you doing? I was like, nah, it'll be all right still. And it was fine. The first couple of weeks in Boca Chica were fine, but it was grimy as hell. Like Hustler Central, and which is fine. I can deal with those people. You can deal with them in the street. You're never going to bring them into your crib or make a friend with them because they're just going to use you at best. At worst, they're going to rob you, obviously. We know them types. So there was no other real tourists. And full of tourists and that, or not really tourists, really. Like foreigners that kind of lived out there still, you know what I mean? There was still like to be back by 9, so certain days 5 p.m. they kind of extended to 9 p.m. and I'm a night person anyway, so I like to go out at night. But anyway, you kind of locked in. But anyway, you're making the best of it. But it wasn't really for me, Boca Chica. I was like, man, I gotta get out of Boca Chica. And then I was like, all right. But I booked for a month, and I was on budget. I don't want to waste money, so I usually book Airbnbs for a month. It's way cheaper. Let me book Santo Domingo. I hadn't even been to Santo Domingo, but like, all right, let me book it for the Zona Colonial. And luckily, a couple of days before I left, a couple of the guys, friends of Skip, our mutual friend, innit? Met a guy called Stuart, and he said, all right, I'll drive you to the capital. I'll introduce you to a few guys, older Black American guys, basically. And they were sound, they brought me in. They kind of schooled me on what it's like in the capital there. around the Zona Colonial kind of neighborhood still.
Yeah.
And it was cool hanging out. Didn't really know many Americans before that, so it was kind of cool hanging out with those guys. You still had the curfew and stuff and whatnot. But it's kind of pricey for me in that first month in the Zona Colonial because it's the tourist spot.
Oh,
so I ended up finding an Airbnb.
It can add up.
Exactly. Yeah, you know it still. So I kind of moved out again. It's neighborhood, like middle class neighborhood, but it was on the kind of further out, quite a bit further out. Not too bad, but like further out from the Zona, kind of on the west of Santo Domingo. But it was fine. It was like had a decent sized place, a big balcony and stuff. I remember having a couple of barbecues there. It was all right. I had quite a few friends on New Year's Eve around there, so that was fine. And you still had the curfew at certain times as well, so you could not really going out partying most nights or whatever, or any nights really, because it was still pandemic times. But again, it's way better than being in London, sitting in traffic doing that delivery job. So I'm getting a bit of teaching as well, made some connections, and I'm doing teaching online and stuff like that. So the English teaching is going all right as well. So that was cool. Then that was fine. Then I met you, innit? Do you remember?
You met me at Skip's house, yeah. Skip was his girl was cooking some dinner, and I remember Skip saying, "Oh, I've got a friend from your country." So I said, "Yeah." So I was like, "Ah, cool." And I just remember you must have. I think you were there. I think you were there. You were already sitting down there, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I can't remember whether I walked in or you were, but I know Skip told me on the phone, like, I got a friend that's from your country and that. I remember visiting and we were chopping it up and, and that was definitely around that time. Man. So sorry, say again?
Yeah, I said as soon as we met, we just clicked or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, we were like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
So
how was life in Santo Domingo? How was it? How was life in Santo Domingo for you?
I didn't have any problems there whatsoever until maybe the last couple of weeks. Some guy tried to rob me there on a motorbike. Problem with my neighborhood is that it was middle class Dominicans. They're in kind of bigger houses and gates and stuff. So the poorer Dominicans, which is the Dominican Republic, to be honest, they're out on the street drinking, out on their chairs, on their porch, on their steps. It's safer. But where this middle class is, they're kind of scared. Dominicans are petrified of their own country. Yeah, I teach them. They want to leave and go Canada and places for the number one reason: safety. Every time they hear a motorbike, they're shook because of robberies.
Oh yeah.
And taxi drivers would be scared dropping me off at my place because scared for me. They were like, "Oof. If you're here on your own at nighttime, this is dangerous." I didn't realize how dangerous it was. I was walking around at nighttime, going to the supermarket, and I told my Dominican friends, they were like, "Are you crazy, bro? What the hell are you doing? Please don't do that. Don't do that. You're mad." But I never had any. The only people on the streets are like the Haitians selling like the pineapples and that. I go and buy pineapples off them and chat to them and stuff. Then I went and put a platter with you, so I kind of expanded my horizons a bit, and I kind of saw another part, and I could see the curfew wasn't too bad up there, a bit more relaxed up there. I met a few kind of foreigners up there, and I could see, okay, there could be a few connections up there work-wise. You're right by the beach, you know what I mean? Puerto Plata, Sewer. So I kind of thought, okay, maybe I should just move up here then, you know what I mean? It seems like a different kind of pace of life, different vibe. Been in Santo Domingo a year now. So I was like, okay. And it was funny, when I got back, I was back for a couple of days and like nothing had happened to me. All the Americans that I met up in Sosur and that, like, why the hell are you down in the capital? It's a S-hole, it's this and that. Like, I was like, bro, it's fine, it's just a city. It's no one from London, it's a city, it's fine. And the guy jumped off his bike and tried to jack me as I'm walking into my crib. And he was like, telephone. I was like, what? I was like swearing at him in English, like, you mad, you crazy. Because I had my landlady inside. He didn't really want to come inside, but I was just like, nah, so I pushed him, bigger than me, obviously. And I just kind of pushed him out, closed the door, and he drove off. I got lucky because it was usually two guys. If they're robbing you, serious robbers, There's usually two guys on a bike and a police.
That's right.
And you just, that's Stan. He was just one guy, he didn't have a weapon. I think people are saying, I'm telling the Dominicans like my story, and they're like, he was surprised that you shouted in English. He thought you're like a middle class kind of white Dominican guy or whatever in that neighborhood. Right. And it was that you were shouting in English. That's why. Maybe he wasn't a serious robber. He was just a hungry guy. Which probably was. I could tell you.
Probably the opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. I felt he was looking to find something. The way he was driving around in circles, I was like, all right, that's what I tried to get into my crew quickly. I'd gone and bought some food and that, and walking back to my place. And it wasn't even that, it was around 8 at night. I went and I had a lesson like online. I just went and taught my lesson and I just told him the story, a Dominican person. It's kind of a funny story. But yeah, so anyway, that's the only experience. Yeah, in 4 years that I'd left England, that's the only time anyone tried to rob.
So why did you leave the capital? Because I know you came and visited.
I'd already it wasn't because of that at all. It wasn't because of that. I'd already decided to leave when I went up.
I'm not implying that. I'm saying, why did you leave the capital? No, I'm not implying that. I'm saying, why did you leave the capital to go to Sosua?
Because from my time with, and not got a platter, mate, why was it? It was just platter was good and nice, but it was a bit more chill, where I kind of like the nightlife, really. I like the action type of it. If there's the action to be, I'd rather just be in the action. I know I'm going to be spending money on taxis and buses to go to where the party is, basically. So if I can afford to stay there, I will stay there. And I met a couple of Americans just like in cafes and bars and that. And I was like, okay, this seems a good connection to keep. Let me kind of get. They kind of mentioned maybe working for them as well, doing sales on the phones as well. So I did that for a bit as well. Made it for a couple months as well. So yeah, it was just like, okay, let me go up there. Yeah, just different. It's by the beach. They didn't have the curfew at the time. I'd already done Santo Domingo for a year, which had the curfew. Ironically, the week I left, they kind of stopped the curfew, and I could have been going out partying more up there. But it was just a change, bro. You know what I mean? When you stay somewhere for a year, that's enough time, really. You know what I mean? That's enough. Unless you love the place, you don't think it's the best place in the world or whatever, you might as well go to another spot, see what it's like. So yeah, that's the reason, basically. So I ended up getting a job at a school up there in an international school. I was living in that beautiful place called Caribe Campo.
Was you in Caribe? What's that place called again?
Caribe Campo. Caribe Campo, yeah. Like, love that spot, bro. That's a big pool. Just love that place, man. It was
tucked away.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
It was tucked away.
Tucked away still. Yeah. But where it was kind of tucked away, it was a bit of a trek, but it's like my price range. I got a great deal, like $300 a month type of thing, everything included. So yeah, and just like
you had swimming pool there. You had everything there. There's everything there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a bit of security as well, so that's fine. Ended up getting a job in the international school, literally 5-minute walk away from there. So that was a great experience too, working in the school as a English literature teacher. That was mad, having to read novels and teach the kids about books and English novels and books and stuff like that. So I did that for 6 months.
So in terms of, obviously, you've left England, earning the pound to earning pesos. What was the wages like teaching in the international school? What was it like?
Over a month, $600 a month. But the amount of hours that you're putting in the school, and then the amount of hours that you're putting in, like planning classes and marking, it's probably worked about $2 an hour. So yeah, I was doing it for the experience. Remember, I've got my qualification to teach English. So it's not a real teaching, going to university and stuff, but this has given me real world life experience of working in a school, teaching. You know what I mean? They were desperate. They couldn't get any staff. They're paying such low wages. Most Americans or British don't work for that wages. And it was still kind of pandemic times, coming out pandemic times as well. So they just couldn't get any staff. So they were kind of desperate. Like people were being the English teacher that was like the assistant head. So she basically brought me in because she was like, right, this guy, we've got guys with qualifications before and this and that, great CVs, and they haven't lasted. Let's just gamble on this guy. He seems like I kind of do well with people. They see me face to face. They kind of like take a liking to me and they give me an opportunity basically. So that's how I got that job basically. I just literally popped out one day. I walked past that school so many times. Everyone, because it was all gated up and big gates, so I never really could see inside. I didn't know what's going on really. And I was just like, "Do you need any English teachers or whatever?" And she was like, "Yeah, we do. Please get me your CV." So yeah, I got the job within like the next week. I was working there. Yeah. But obviously the way it was fine.
How did you? Because obviously you're paying $300 a month for rent, right? That's and you said what that was including electricity and internet and everything. Did you say?
Yeah.
So basically,
I'm still doing my online. I'm still doing my teaching online, and I'm getting paid more around $15.
Right.
Yeah. So teaching in the day,
topped it up.
Correct. So I was doing that one as well. So putting it together, it was fine. I could survive in more. Yeah. Sometimes you get into overdraft or whatever and this and that, but still have people that kind of owe me money and stuff from back in England, so they were sending me bits here and there as well, so helping as well. I was doing that sales. I was working that sales, so like calling up Americans and stuff, and like what was it, solar panels and investments and in medical stuff. But the guys pay, so I had different things. Getting an income, you know what I mean, and it was just so it was fine. I was financially not too bad in that situation. Yeah, it was fine. So was play a bit of poker online.
Okay, so was there anything? So what made you just say, "I've had enough of Dominican Republic" and move on, or was there anything in particular that you were just like?
If anything, the apartment, well, remember, coming up to a year, it seems to be like around a year time, I'm like, okay, maybe we should move on to a next spot, you know what I mean? But that actual apartment got bought by a Russian or someone else bought it. And I had to move out of that place anyway. I've been in DR for 2 years now. Like, the exit fee was going to keep going up and up. So it's like, I kind of wanted to leave, pay off the exit fee, because if you stay long, that exit fee will keep going up and it will get expensive. And but remember, where I wanted to go was Colombia. It was always kind of Colombia.
Yes, I remember you saying.
Close. Pandemic was kind of done by then. Colombia's a lot cheaper than the DR. The DR is going to get more expensive because of inflation and the pandemic and whatnot. So Colombia's like, okay, let's go. I still had Colombian friends from the time I went there from like 2.5 years earlier. And I was saying to them, where should I go? Medellin or Cali? Bogota, no way, too cold. Cartagena's expensive and kind of small and full of hustlers. So it's basically Medellin or Cali. Okay, they're my two options. Everyone, maybe because they were like wanted me to be with them or around, they all said Cali, and they all basically lived in Cali. A Colombian friend, a German friend out there, I stayed in his Airbnb for a few days, and from the time before, and an American guy, Trip or James, that I don't know if you ever met him, but he's a friend of Skip's as well, and I'd met him in the DR. He was out there.
I don't think I've met James, no.
Yeah, still in Colombia now, still. And they all said Cali. So they say, and the reasons were Cali is cheaper, for one, economic, so it's a bit cheaper, so you can save more money there. And the people are actually friendlier in Cali, they feel. Medellin has got a bit too tourist. They're basically a direct link everywhere in the world, more or less. The more tourists and foreigners that a country has, the people kind of become less friendly. Yeah, the less they have, people are still more real. They haven't been corrupted as much, and they appreciate, and you're a novelty there. More or less everywhere in the world you go, that's kind of how it is. bigger places are less friendly, smaller places are not. It doesn't always work like that. I'll get to that about Brazil, but more or less everywhere in the world, that's your direct correlate. Bigger places, less friendly, more foreigners, more tourists. Just the people get corrupted, which is everywhere in the world is like, even London. So I'm not even saying it's a bad thing. It's just the way. So Cali is very, very friendly. The friendliest people you'll probably meet are in Cali, man, because they're just like, they don't get foreigners. They appreciate you being there. The amount of times they're in the taxi, they're like, oh wow, you're from, okay, be safe, do this, do that, don't, take care. They really do kind of care and worry about. They don't have to worry. I never got in any trouble whatsoever. But I mean, it's probably high on the list for crime for sure. But again, it's so concentrated and isolated in certain neighborhoods. Don't go to those neighborhoods. You know what I mean? Go to the neighborhoods that, again, people go to. I would say go stay in the safest neighborhoods you can when you first go to a city. Because I knew this guy James, he kind of stayed a bit out of the tourist part of Cali, the small tiny bit of tourist part there is that people might go to the center. And he was saying, yeah, this neighborhood in the south is safe enough, it's fine. So it's called Lemona, and I stayed there. Right. And then the first time I moved in, I stayed there the whole time I was there. It was an old kind of Colombian couple who were lovely. They gave me like my birthday, a cake and like a meal and sang happy birthday. I mean, yeah, I ended up, there's a bit of construction. They were kind of expanding it. So it was in a smaller kind of room, studio type thing, but then they built it up and then I could be on the top of the building. It's like a massive, massive studio, huge, and a big balcony as well, big terrace as well. So that was beautiful. So I ended up living there for like, what's the prices I was paying? Like 200 quid a month, all in.
Wow.
Basically. Oh yeah, that was cool. That was cool. And stayed there for 1.5 years, basically. Cali, yeah. So I recommend Cali to a lot of people. If you want to go Colombia, Cali, Lemona, it's a good neighborhood as well. If you want to be with the Colombians, good neighborhood. No crime. Well, there is crime there, but I never had any crime done to me whatsoever, ever. I've heard of robberies and this and that, but I never saw any robberies. No one ever tried to rob me ever. So beautiful parks everywhere. You see like even women rugby teams practicing rugby and frisbee, loads of kind of bars and stuff. You can go out. And cheap as well, so cheap. You can drink like beers are less than £1 out there, bottles of rum are a few quid. So going out is so cheap as well. You'll be shocked. You look at your bill the next day, you log on your bank and see, what, is that all I spent? The amount of partying I done all night and stuff, and you hardly spend anything there. So, but yeah, again, why did I leave there? Because kind of like, I'm still looking for that special place that I want to live, maybe like a special relationship. I had a few relationships up and down, but nothing to work out.
This is in Cali. This is in Cali or Dominican Republic?
This is still, we're in Cali now, Colombia. Yeah, right. Yeah.
No, I know we're in Cali. I'm just saying because when I asked you, why did you leave DI, you didn't give a specific answer. You did. You said that, your tenancy was up, but
you left the country. I had to move out.
You left the country.
I had to move out.
Yeah.
It kept going up as well. The exit fee. I was still, you're kind of illegal there, and every month you stay, that fee gets higher and higher and higher. So I know guys, American guys,
this wasn't for you.
They can't even afford to leave. Yeah. Well, my favorite country is Thailand. It's always been Thailand. So I love the people of Thailand. So
I hear you.
For people to reach that, but it's hard to kind of stay in Thailand long term. And I'm on the other side of the world, so I'm like, I might as well see these countries, Latin America, before I fly out to Asia or Thailand, wherever. I might as well see Latin America. I'm there. You can get cheap flights, relatively cheap to these countries. You know what I mean? They're closer together. And Colombia is always, I wanted to live in Colombia. I had a great time there. Before that month I was there, made some great friends. And yeah, so that's the reason I ended up in Colombia. I made amazing friends in there. Like when I left, there was probably about 30 people came and said goodbye to me. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, a lot of people, were sad to see me leave.
Then
it
Viva
was-
Brazil.
Yeah, because basically I
How
end
did
up
you
in
end up
countries
there?
that people recommend. A
What
lot of
made you go
people,
there?
I talk to a lot of people that travel the world that say, where are the
Right.
best places? Where have you been?
Yeah.
Rio comes up. Rio de Janeiro,
Okay.
Brazil comes up a lot. A lot of people, they say Rio's a great city. You got to go there.
Mhm.
Also, Carnival. It's always been in the back of my mind. Rio Carnival on my bucket list. Okay.
Okay.
So I was gonna go in the March of this year. We're in 2024. I was gonna go, but I was like, oh, Carnival. When is Carnival? Oh, Googled it. February. So I was like, let me go end of January. So I'm there a week or so before Carnival starts. Carnival lasts basically all of February, but okay, about 2 weeks solidly of. And even though it's more expensive to stay there during February, the flights are like over $150 more expensive. I was like, Carnival is bucket list stuff. Yeah, when are you going to get a chance to do that again? So I was like, yeah, let's do that. And I went to Rio basically. Carnival was amazing. The first accommodation I stayed in though was not to my cup of tea. It was because it's expensive and on a budget. I was staying in a communal kind of house. I had my own room, but you're sharing the kitchen and the bathroom. And sometimes you'll go. Like the woman was lovely who lived there, but she was a bit of an alcoholic, a bit of a party man. She was a bit nuts. She had like 8, 9 dogs kind of thing. 2 dogs that lived on my floor, and 7 dogs that lived upstairs that just would bark all the time. She was a bit nuts. I mean, she was lovely. We'd go out and drinking, and she'd introduce me to some people. She introduced me to a couple of her friends, who became really good friends of mine. So that was fine. And it was good staying there actually at first, right? Because there was a few kind of foreigners there, a couple of German guys, so I became good friends with them. We partied during Carnival, so that was fine. Rio's one of them. Kind of want to have friends out there, I would say. Cali, Colombia, and maybe even DR, it's easier to meet people and the locals and stuff. But Rio, they've had so many foreigners go there for tourists so many years. They're just not that bothered by you. They're not impressed. They're not that bothered. They don't even care really, to be honest. And they're fine, but it's like you mind your business, they mind theirs. They're not really interested. I mean, the people who are interested, you're paying, obviously. Remember that. But is that a genuine friendship? You know what I mean? If you're the one always paying for the night out and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So. And it's just that correlation, man. Where people are foreigners, they're not in that. It just kind of, so they've had it for so. Rio is the most popular holiday destination in the world, or one of them anyway. So, yeah. So anyway, I had those good friends. A lot of the foreigners that live in Rio are friends with other foreigners, way more than other places. It's harder to become great friends with the locals there. I would say that's my opinion. Impossible.
So
but it's
you
just
went
more
to
tricky.
Rio basically to.
Rio. They even say that. You meet people from Sao Paulo or Brasilia or the north, they will say people in Rio aren't quite as friendly as what they are. You know what I mean? They're not going to make the genuine friendships. Because they kind of, they get told Rio's the place. They think they're a bit like that. Maybe us Londoners are the same as well to a certain degree. We know we're from the best place in Britain. So we know we're from the best place. We just know that. Rio is kind of like that. So they're like, nowhere's as good as Rio. You know what I mean? That's
They got that attitude.
Exactly. It is ridiculously beautiful. Rio de Janeiro, like you've got the sea, you've got the mountains, you've got the Christ the Redeemer, you've got the buildings, the favelas, you've got it all mixed in, the forests. It is ridiculously beautiful, Rio de Janeiro. You know what I mean? No one really told me how amazing it would be. It was beautiful, and everyone should definitely go there at least to visit and see what it's like.
So basically, you went there just for Carnival and ended up staying there.
Yeah, well, I'm never gonna leave. It's expensive to keep traveling, so I try and go to a country for at least as possible, as long as possible. Brazil is not like the.
Did you know?
Yeah, I kind of knew that.
Yeah. Okay.
I knew that you can stay 3 months, no problem, and extend it for another 3 months. Probably in the back of my mind, I thought 6 months. And they don't play out there. If you go over by a day, you're getting fined 100 reals, which is about 20 quid, and it adds up. If you shoot out there 2-3 weeks to overstay, I mean, I overstayed in Colombia well over a year, paid nothing. I stayed well over DR well over 2 years and paid about 120 quid. Yeah, so that's fine. But Brazil, that they don't play because they got so many tourists. They don't want people to stay over. So 6 months, you can do 6 months per year. You got to go to another country, then come back. So I can't even go back to Brazil till January next year, basically.
Hold on.
So,
Whoa. Time out. Gonna give you a scenario right now. This for educational purposes. I stayed for. I'm in Brazil right now. I've stayed for 3 months.
Yeah.
I go extend my extension for another 3 months. Yeah, they give it to me. 6 months.
Yeah.
Can I fly to Colombia for 1 day, then fly back to Brazil when it resets, or you can't even do that?
You got 6 months. No matter how you do it, you've got 6 months per year on a tourist visa for a British person, basically. 6 months in that year, that calendar year. So, yeah, that's it. I did my 6 months all in one go. And I had to, the way I had to do that was mad still. You got to show you got over like $2,000 in your bank. I didn't even have that. I had people back in England send me money. I went to the guy, showed him it, yeah. He's like, all right, cool, you got the money. I was like, look, you can see someone's just sent it. He's like, yeah, it's fine, you got money there, that's fine. And you have to show your exit ticket. I bought it wasn't fake, I bought a ticket to Argentina, yeah, which I cancelled anyway, like a bus ticket to Argentina. And there's a lot of stuff you got to prove. I went there 3 or 4 times because I kept getting there late, or I didn't have this document or that document, so I had to keep going back. So, yeah, and then they gave it to me. They were fine, and they said you've gone over, and I was like, look, I came on the right day within the time, but you were closed. I took a photo. Like I took a photo of the door and had the time on it and the day. So he was like, cool, bye. So you know what I mean? I'm saying Rio, they're not that friendly. Not that it's hard to make genuine friends, but they're still kind of cool and nice. You know what I mean? That kind of you've been there, so you kind of know. They're fine. They're fine. They're nice enough. And he was nice, a customs guy, whatever he is. The immigration guy was fine. He did my thing. He stamped it for 3 months. But that money that I obviously borrowed for some, I just sent that straight back. It was in my bank account less than an hour, and I just showed him it. I was like, what the hell? They didn't believe that stuff. Because you need to show you got a decent amount of change in your bank. Yeah. Like,
because they're doing that. They're doing that to the Americans next year. I think it's February next year. You got to have over $2,000 in your bank now, and they've got to pay an $85 visa. I think it lasts for 10 or 5 years or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Students have it slightly different to us because there's Americans causing problems out in Brazil than what British have. There ain't that much British out there. So way more French, even British isn't, there ain't that many of us out there. But Americans is a lot, and they've kind of done some mad stuff out there. Brazilians aren't happy with them as much. So it's a slightly trickier for them. Still fine though, any American can go there or what.
I heard that it was because the Americans, they obviously Brazilians need a visa to enter America, so it was like a tit for tat thing. That's what I heard. I don't know whether that's true or not. I know there's some madness been going on over there, but that's what I heard.
Brazil's like, okay, what do you give us for our citizens? We'll do the same.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah,
exactly.
So
you're going to be difficult with us. We're going to be difficult with you.
DR, Colombia, they're begging for people to go there, begging because they don't have that tourist industry. So
you can overstay your welcome in DR. You can overstay and just pay on the exit. Yeah.
Country in the world that you didn't. I didn't have a COVID test. I write. They was like, you can turn up, no COVID test, no nothing, just come. They were closed for free.
Yeah,
like,
that was I remember.
We're opening up when all the world was closed for over a year. DR was like, nah. So DR will always have a special place in my heart for that. You know what I mean? Because kind of like, you got me out of the UK, got me out of the UK and started me on my journey, basically. So I had no problems out there ever. So met some great people, great times, great experiences. And Colombia too will have a special place in my heart as well. I support them now. Dominicans play baseball, so I support them in baseball. Colombians football, so always Colombia now. That's my Latin American team. Always support Colombia when they play. And Brazil, still I like Brazil as well. But Brazil, 6 months. So it's never, you can do 6 months in Brazil, basically. That's it. So
and that's a year. 6 months a year, and that's it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Wow.
So I was in that crib, that shared crib, for the first month, and I kind of hated towards the end. But okay, fair enough. And I'm looking for a place to stay. Carnival's done now, but I'm like, all right, where am I gonna stay? All right, I want to be by Copacabana. There's the beach there. You know what I mean? I want to kind of experience the beach on a daily basis and whatnot. But it's pricey up there. It's way out my budget. But I was on Airbnb and then Copacabana, but big letters saying Favela. I'm like,
Let me
okay,
stop you there.
check.
Let me stop you there.
Go on.
Let me stop you there, because I gotta tell the audience. Let me stop you there. So I had to. People would say, "Why are you interrupting him, Big J?" Here's a reason why I'm interrupting. Here's a reason why I'm interrupting. It all falls in with what he's about to tell you. So I've arrived in Brazil. I'm talking to the audience now. I've arrived in Brazil. No, I think I posted something on my status, and I got a text from Damian saying, "Yo, you in Brazil?" Now I totally forgot that he was there. Totally forgot that he was there. I said, "Yeah." Goes, "Yeah, bro. Let's link up." I was like, "Yo, you in Brazil?" He's like, "Yeah." I goes, "Oh shit, yeah." Because I'm going through a madness. There's so much things going on with me at the time that I've just totally. So anyway, we've linked.
You went on a. I remember you went. You didn't even plan it out.
Yeah, it was a bit of a madness. It was a bit of a madness I went through. So I remember you came and linked me in Copacabana. So we're sitting, we're chilling with the man, them having a drink, laughing and joking. So Damian comes out with, now I've heard about the favelas, I've heard about the stories, and you know, as I said, you know, I'm not closed from the world. But the favelas have always interested me, always. You know, I've watched City of Gods and stuff like that. It's always interested me. So in our conversation, he's like, "Oh, I live in the favelas." So some of my American friends were like, "What? You live where?" He's like, yeah. You just said it so nonchalantly. Yeah, I live in the favelas. You know, it's safe there. Nothing's happened to me. And my American friends are just looking at him like, is this guy been smoking something? Is he all right? Is he good? Is this guy even lying? Like, so I'm taking all of this in at the time. So I've looked at, I said, "Bro, you really live in the favelas?" So he's like, yeah, it's crazy in there. You know, you got a table, you know, people selling drugs, people just getting on with their lives. He's telling me all of this, right? So obviously I haven't been in the favela. So, you know, obviously I'm picturing things in my mind. Okay, telling me guys are there with machine guns. I'm like, So then he turns around and says to me, "Come man, let's go to the favela." And I was just like, yeah, sod it, let's go. My American friends are like, "Big J, don't do it." Don't do it. I said, sod it, I'm going. We got in a taxi. Actually, he called a taxi. I don't know what the hell I was doing at the time. The taxi drove off. I don't know what I was doing at that time. But we got an Uber. Yeah. The Uber just drove off, right? Did he come back? I think he came back.
No, I don't know if he came. I don't know if it's the same one or we got another one. I can't remember. But yeah, maybe it's the same guy.
I was doing a madness. I remember I was doing a madness and he drove off. So we called another one, right? So I just remember we got in a taxi, right? I have to tell this story. So we got in a taxi.
Yeah,
oh, man, what's the name of the favela you were staying in?
Tabajara.
Tabijaras. Okay, that means nothing to me. But anyway, so we got in the taxi. I remember Damien looking at the taxi driver and he said Tabijaras. And I remember the taxi driver looked at him like, nah, this guy's smoking some hard food. And he looked back at me. He knew I weren't Brazilian. But I'm watching the taxi driver and I'm starting to have second thoughts because the taxi driver's like looking at Damien like, you sure you want to go there? Because he don't know that you live there. But he's looking at you. You sure you really want to go there? I can take you anywhere else apart from there. I remember Damien, you smiling and you're like, nah, I live there. I've got. So the taxi driver's like, boy, I don't even want to drive. He didn't even want to go there. I remember he didn't even want to go there. At the time, I'm in the back of the taxi and I'm thinking, you know what? This is a bad idea. This is a bad idea. I'm thinking, nah, this is a bad idea. Anyway, we got to the edge of it. So remember, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm going, people. So we walked in. So he's like, yeah, man, it's calm. I said, nah, bro, like, I'm street smart. I'm saying, bro, just hold that, innit? Because at the end of the day, I don't know around here, they know you. People, I ain't even gonna front. It's like, when I got in, I ain't gonna lie, I was a bit shook because I don't know what to expect. You hear all these horror stories. But then it's just like, it just went like that. I just started seeing people coming back from work in their rucksack, bars open, people, takeaways. I was like, it was just baffling to me. So then I remember Damien goes to me, yo, yeah, remember I told you about that table? Yeah. I'm like, yeah. Goes, yo, that's the table. People. I walked over to this table. They had, anyway, I can't even, for YouTube, I don't want to get, they had everything on that table. Every mind-altering they had on that table, right? Oblivious to myself now, I've just gone over. I've seen the guns. I've seen the guns. So I just start talking to the Jefe. Just normally, the Jefe he was just calm. He was just cool. I remember I even spoke to him about the gym a little because he pointed at my arms. He's like, yeah, you go gym. Like, and then one of the guys, when I turned around, one of the guys had I think it was an AR-15 they had. So I was speaking Spanish to them, but they kind of made that what I was saying because Portuguese and Spanish is kind of similar. So I remember the guy that had the camo AR-15. So he goes to me, Dominican? I said, no, I have a key though. He's like, okay. So let me choose my words very carefully now. I took what I needed to take and we just walked off like it was nothing until we got to these goddamn stairs that, Damien, how far do you live? It's only 2 minutes. People, I was walking up these stairs for a good 20 minutes. He was used to them. I literally had to stop, right? I said, Damien, where do you live? It's only 2 minutes. That weren't no 2 minutes. That weren't no 20 minutes, bro. Bro, I was walking forever.
200 steps.
That 10 minutes felt like 20 minutes.
About 10 minutes, yeah. But anyway, yeah, you did have to stop. You're a big guy, cardio ain't your thing. That's why it was skinny. Like, no word of a lie, the Brazilians thought I was a Brazilian favela guy before I even lived in the Brazilian favela. So it's ironic they ended up living there. So people just kind of thought I was a Brazilian, lived there all my life, my face, I'm slim, got tats or whatever. They used to think it anyway. Put it this way. Let me say why it's safe. It is safe because the police, the gangs who control it, the gang is what's the gang? CV. Yeah, CV is the name. I'll have to find out what it stands for. But yeah, it's the Brazilian Portuguese thing. CV is the gang, and they control it. There's no robberies allowed in the favela from anyone to anywhere. There's no ifs or buts. Why? Because robberies create problems. Robberies create drama and hassle. The gangs want to just sell their drugs night and day. They're the hardest workers in Brazil. That whether there's a rainstorm, a tropical storm, whatever's going on, that table is open 24 hours a day. Okay? They've got kids working with it half the time. Sometimes they're taking a nap on this and that, 3 or 4 in the morning, but that table is open. And yeah, no matter what the weather is like, they will be open, okay? That's how they make their money. That is what they want to do. They don't want tourists will buy more drugs and they buy more, they'll come back and that. So that's how they want to make their money. The robberies happen outside of the favela. So them guys that we're seeing, I don't even know if they're on the robbery tip, but maybe they probably are. But a lot of the other guys that we walk past do their robberies outside. They might not necessarily be part of the gang, have the guns, but they're going out of the favela to do their robberies. And then they do their robberies, they come back. And most of the robberies are snatch and grabs. Like they'll see tourists with phones, or Brazilian with phones or bags on their bikes, snatch it, keep going. You know what I mean? And then go back in.
I saw people in the favelas on their phones. I saw people on their phones, normal, just making phone calls. Yeah.
In Latin America, in the whole of Latin America, to be on your phone. Certain favelas in Rio, Sao Paulo is different game. So this is about Rio de Janeiro. The favelas, you can be on your phone. I like, even me, no one even tries to rob me there because they think I'm a hood rat anyway. I get more people grabbing their bags, seeing me from behind in Copacabana, thinking I'm going to rob them. Yeah? I never once thought anyone was going to rob me. But I'm where I'm from. I give off that energy of like, yeah, no one, you can try robbing me. I'm never going to give you my, yeah, you got to take it. But I've got that situational awareness. We just have that from growing up. Where I've got other friends that visited me. They're from country ends in England and they do not have that situation awareness. They do not understand who is around them, that you can't let your guard down type of thing. You can be calm, but you can be comfortable and calm. You can be around dangerous people. It doesn't mean you're in danger. Yeah? But you kind of just have to have that energy that you're comfortable. You're never scared. You got respect for them. You're not trying to act like a bad man. Like the people that they can sense that a mile off, someone's trying to act tough and be something they're not. It's because they're scared. That's why they're doing it. That's, you know what I mean? Guys do that, you know what I mean? They're trying to put on a front. Never try. That's my advice to people. Never put on a front. Just be respectful, but not being scared and stuff. That's something that you can't teach. That's either you have that or you don't. You have that or you don't. You know what I mean? If you want to see, can you go to them places and not be scared? Go to Ends. Go to Tottenham or go to Lewisham, yeah, in England. Go, and if you're not scared there, then at least that's something, okay? I know people who go to our ends and they're shook. I know they leave quickly, you know what I mean? They don't like it. So, but that's at least a start, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, just so it's fine. It's fine. The reason I stayed in the favela,
I remember you was even telling me. I remember you was even telling me that even foreigners actually go into the favelas to go and buy their drugs and nothing happens to them. They just walk in, buy their drugs and back out.
Especially the ones by, this one's called Tabajara, it's near Siquia de Campos, yeah? And that's the metro station, if anyone wants to know. There's police in the favelas. There's police on there's 3 or 4 exits of the favelas, yeah?
I remember we saw them at the tip when we walked in, yeah.
About 100 yards away from that table where you got the gangsters of CV with their AR-15s and whatnot, yeah? And the police, you never see them past a certain point. You never see the gangsters go past near the police, yeah? With their guns or nothing, okay? So there's a designated place where they will stay, the police stay, the gangsters stay, and they don't cross over paths, okay? But they got to be packing all the time because the police now and again get funny and want to go in and try and shoot up the gangsters and take the drugs or do whatever. They always have 24/7 It's not even like you think, okay, the gang war, maybe they had that in the past, the two gangs or whatever, but it's more the police that seem to be the issue there. Anyway, because this favela's near, it's like the safest, it's like the Disneyland of favelas. But some Brazilians are scared to go there. There's other favelas, I didn't even bother going, because I'm not one of those guys that want to be around the favelas and taking pictures of the locals, it's a tourist thing. No, I was just, my budget, I was just living there. So there's other favelas called Racine, that's like the biggest one in South America. That's like a tourist place. There's another one called BIGJAY'S. I never even went to them, but people go there, and certain Brazilians feel safe there, but they're shook of my one. Yeah, they're shook of my one. But then Brazilians that know the, like, Brazilians so rich and poor. So you got your rich Brazilians, and then your middle class ones, and then your poor ones. Your poor ones kind of know my favela ain't that bad. It's right near Copacabana. You know what I mean?
Right.
I would say to any tourist, what go to the favelas in the north of Rio? Don't even think about it. Yeah, that's another. From what I've heard up there, that's another ball game. That's like crazy, mad stuff going up there. Yeah, don't even think about going to that one. But the one I was living in is fine, not a problem. Go there, do your
And what's
thing.
the one that you were living in? What's it called again?
Will not be taking pictures or filming at all. Don't be doing that ever in that favela. No. But other than that, it's fine. You can walk around on your phone, like on your phone, you know what I mean? WhatsApp or whatever, doing what you're doing, making phone calls. Don't be on your phone at that table either. They don't want you on your phone making phone calls or talking at that table, yeah? Don't be doing it there. But other than that, it's fine. And yeah, just be respectful. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's not a problem. I mean, I stayed in that favela 5 months. I was there. Basically, the whole time I left that, I preferred it way because I had my own spot in there. You came to my crib up them stairs. You were like, "This is
beautiful
nice."
View.
Got that beautiful
view.
The view.
The view was spectacular.
Off the charts, man. Oh, crazy. So yeah, and it's known as well. Rio people aren't even bothered by the view. You're like, all right, yo, come sit. They know about the views. They know the favelas have the best view, so they're not even that bothered. Like, wow, for them it's like standard. It's what they've seen all their life. So yeah, and it was fine. I never had any issues there. Never once. No one ever. People have respect, and they just know. They know they did. You don't start on the favela. Even outside of the favelas, no one ever gave me any trouble because there's enough rich Brazilians. There's enough how can we call it, tourists to rob. They kind of got a vibe of me. I was a Brazilian kind of gangster anyway, which I'm not. But they thought I was. The Brazilians thought I was. So they like have a little chain as well. The only people brave enough to wear the chains and whatnot are the people that don't get robbed. You know what I mean? That type of people. People don't even have watches. People don't wear jewelry in Rio because there's so much crime of robbing, that type of thing. But
So
for me, never.
Staying on Rio, they say that Copacabana is dangerous. It can be dangerous because you've got a lot of phone snatching and chain snatching. How true is that? I mean, obviously, I'm a novice when it comes to Brazil. So how true is that Copacabana can be dangerous?
I don't think it's dangerous at all. Not at all. Not at all. I think there's more going on where I'm from in Ents, really, to be honest. But if you're like a tourist and you're dumb, you're on your phone like that, or we're talking on it in one spot for too long, people will be watching you and looking for easy targets to rob. That's what they're looking for. People always watching you, yeah? That's how it is in Latin America, yeah? They are watching the people, the easy people to rob. That's how it is. So don't be the easy
basically,
target.
if you look like a mark, you are a mark.
Correct. If you look shook, you are definitely a mark. Try and blend in. I don't know, man. People like tourists kind of look. Certain tourists dress kind of like dumb, I would say, or they've got their bags over their shoulders, and you know what I mean. They're wearing their sandals and things like that. Yeah. I mean, people there wear flip-flops or trainers, so try and dress like that. Try and like dress how they dress. I mean, I just dress how I dress, and it kind of fits in with how they dress as well anyway. So yeah, like for me, I never had, and then I'm going out in Lapa, which has got a bad reputation. You see a
Yeah,
lot of
let's
homeless
touch on
there.
that.
A lot of
I heard there's a lot of bad that you can get robbed there and pickpocket and stuff.
100%.
But we
Nothing
had
ever
a
happened to me, ever.
wicked time. Nothing happened to us when we were there.
Exactly, bro. Like, people get this reputation, but again, I think a lot of the time it's these kind of white middle class tourists that go there, and for them, where they're from, it's like, oh my god, look at this crime, look at this, look at that. It's such a big thing to them. Ain't that deep to me? Ain't that? I've seen crackheads all my life. I've seen like criminals and stuff like that. I don't even. When you grow up there, you just think it's normal. It's not even that big a deal. But so it's not. Yeah, like. Nah, like I can see just because someone that you can tell is a thief and a robber doesn't mean they're trying to rob you. And you got to give off this like energy, this vibe. Like, don't even think about robbing me. Don't even try. I ain't gonna give you my stuff. Yeah, I'm not dumb enough to be walking around. And I walk around with my phone, but I'm on my phone. I use it and then I put it away. I go out, I'll take some photos and pictures, videos, and put it away or whatever. Not on it for all the time or whatnot, like not dumb. And you gotta have situational awareness. Just look around who's around you. Keep it like looking behind your back, because that's where people will be grabbing it. If you don't know who's behind you and you're on your phone, that's where people can come along on a bike and snatch it. Don't be by a curb on your phone. You know what I mean? That's where people will be on the road on their bikes and they can snatch things easily. If you're going to be on it, go to the more to the side, go in a store and be on your phone, or go to put your back against the wall. Look around first to see if anyone's around that's looking to rob you. Normal people, 99% of people are normal. Yeah, that's the word, vigilance. Yeah, exactly. So that's all I can say, bro.
Yeah.
That's, you know what I mean? Starting my advice travel consultation, because people are saying, bro, you're basically an expert. The amount of countries you've been to, nothing happens to you. You've got a lot of knowledge you can give to people. So
yeah,
that's basically, because yeah, man, like you can go to these countries, have a great time and never get robbed, because it didn't happen to me. So it's fine.
Where are you at
know
now? So you left Brazil and now you're in Philippines now?
Yeah, baby. Philippines, man. It's
so what's Philippines saying?
Well, I first came here. This is my first ever time here. British don't really go Philippines. We go Thailand more. But I met so many Americans on my travels along the way. They kept talking about Philippines and great times here and great people and stuff. So I was like, okay, let's see what Philippines is saying. It's also easier to stay here longer term than Thailand. So I'm like, okay, I'm on the other side of the world now. So after I do stay here for a while, I'll probably go to Thailand, Vietnam, them countries. But anyway, at this moment, I'm in Philippines. I've been here like 3 weeks now. I'm in Manila. I'm actually, so it's funny, I've left like the poorest neighborhood of Brazil, the favelas, and now I'm like in one of the richest neighborhoods in Manila. It's called Makati. And I'm only here because it got recommended. I spoke to about half a dozen people and they kept saying Makati. So I'm in Makati. In a condo, cost me £460 for the month, all in on Airbnb. So I'm here for the next couple of weeks. And yeah, it's fine. It's all right. It's calm still. Philippines is a walk in the park compared to Brazil and Latin America. Come on. Right. It doesn't have that crime. People they think they're degrees and this and that, but like, and to be honest, it's nuts. People don't even like Latin America. I blend in and become a Latin. They think the Latins think I'm a Latin. Here, I'm clearly not Filipino, but they don't look at me that much at all. They look at me a little bit and then keep it moving. So maybe when I leave Manila and go to the islands, or there's less tourists and stuff, there's foreigners, maybe I'll get more looked at more. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how it is. But at the moment I'm in Manila, it's just a big kind of Asian city. If anyone's gone to Bangkok or any of them cities like that, big, lots of people. You've got your street food, which I love. I miss that in Latin America. It's not like Thailand. The street food's off the charts in Thailand, but the street food's pretty good here. You can get decent meals for like less than £1, bro. You know what I mean? I'm getting like eating a lot of this beef stew. Paris, yeah. It's not the healthiest thing, but it's kind of fatty and a lot like big bag of rice they give you, which is less than £1, so you can survive on food out here for cheap still. It's not too bad still. they're very strict on the substances. So I have not been doing any substances whatsoever for like the last 3 weeks since I arrived, because they don't play out here. And I've got no intention to go to the Cockroach Hilton, as they call it. So
Cockroach Hilton.
they don't play out here. But Latin America kind of lawless still. You can kind of do what you want out there. But here it's different. But anyway, it's fine. I'm getting used to it. A lot of bars and that you can go out at night time, and yeah, have a good party. I've been partying. Sometimes I know a few bars now, so I'll party sometimes all day to the afternoon and stuff. So yeah, there's places that you can find that will stay open and stuff, 24 hours and stuff like that. The neighborhood called Poblacion, the neighborhood in Makati. There's like late night bars, and yeah, it's all right. Completely different to Latin America. Completely different. Latin America, the people there are cool, I would say, in terms of they got a vibe that's cool. You know what I mean? Here, the people that the Filipinos are cool, more or less. They're not on the same level as Latins. Like, I'm not saying cool. Like, there's different ways of being cool. Like, cool means is all right. They're an all right person. That's cool. But like, I'm talking about cool, how they dance, how they flex. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. And the foreigners aren't as cool, I would say. So you're in a club, like I can see like the coolest person in the club. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I'm that, but I'm just seeing the other people, the other guys. A lot of the other foreigners can act a bit desperate. You know what I mean? And the girls are like, okay, this guy did it. The desperation just reeks off me. You know what I mean? I don't beg or try and. I'm not begging for a number. Are you mad? I see guys trying to find girls drinks and drinks and drinks, food and all this just to get their phone number. I was like, what the hell? This is mad. I was like, no, I don't do that. And the girls can see that and they respect that, you know what I mean? So that's one thing. Filipino people are calm as well. Made a few friends still already.
Have you met? Is there a big expat community?
Yeah, a bit, but you kind of meet them as you go. When I'm out, I kind of bump in. I met a cool Black American guy called Trey the other day. He's still in the military after 20 years, flies helicopters and that. And so he's cool. He's showing me around to some spots as well. There's some nice spots here, like BGC, man. That's another planet. That's another world. That's nice still.
What's BGC? What is that? What is it? A wine bar, club?
It's the nicest spot in all of Manila. Okay. And it's posh. But you'll go around, the people are dressed good, beautiful people. It's almost like the Beverly Hills of Manila. Okay. I would say. Yeah. I'll send you some pictures and videos of that place, so you'll see for yourself. Yeah, man. So that's nice. That's a nice neighborhood and stuff. But I'm a bit more grimy, so I don't know. I just like it. You know what I mean? I like to be not really the richest rich of the people. I like to be
middle class grimy. Middle class grimy.
Yeah, lower middle class, working class. That's the kind of people I just feel more comfortable around. And yeah, so I know certain spots around here that's a party and that's fine like that. And yeah, it's calm. Can't say nothing bad about it at all. It's crime is very low. People are friendly. You can get taxis for cheap. That's an interesting thing. In Brazil, Colombia, all of them places, Uber is half the price of taxis, the yellow taxis you get in the street. Here, they don't have Uber. They got a thing called Grab. Yeah, it's the equivalent of Uber. Now can be twice as much as the ones you get in the street, like the yellow white taxis they got on the street. So but make sure they put the meter on, put it on Google Maps, your destination. Yeah, so the driver knows you know where you're going, the correct route. Yeah, so it's not trying to do all that turns and whatnot to put the price up. Yeah. If there's loads of traffic and you're stuck in traffic a lot, then maybe it could be kind of balance it out a bit. But no, the taxis in the street can be half the price. I came out the club today, wanted to take me home for 300 peso. They got peso out here. It's mad, it's peso.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. and 75 peso to a pound. So 150 pesos, £2. So I mean, it's only £4. But anyway, I knew that's a robbery. I knew he was trying to take the mick out there, for £4 to take me home in the taxi. And you get one in the street. We walked a bit and found one in the street, and he took us there. 99, 100 peso. There you go, third of the price. So don't always jump in the first taxi when you come out the club, because they're looking for the tourist money. Walk around the corner, get one that's just driving by, and you'll be paying half price, a third of the price. Okay. And get the street food as well. You can get the street food, is less than £1. You know what I mean? That's the advice I'm going to give to people, because I'm living on a budget. So I'm trying to get your food in the supermarkets, and you know what I mean? And if you, now and again, if you want to go to the restaurants, do it. It's fine. You know, it's not going to break the bank or whatever. It's not. When you've got a guy like me, I'm living out here. I'm not a tourist. I'm not here on a vacation. I'm not here. When you're out on 2-3 weeks, you fall every night. You don't think like I've done that. You know what I mean? My Thailand and whatnot, Cuba and Colombia, when I was on holiday there, yeah, falling out. But when I'm living out here, I'm on a budget. So, and when you first move to a place, that's where you kind of get rinsed a bit, because you don't know. So you kind of like, it's kind of pricey the first couple of weeks, but then you kind of learn where the best and cheapest places are to buy, the most economical places. Another thing that I should tell you people about is this. I messed up, bro. I thought it was a Galaxy S23. Yeah, guy's trying to sell it in the street. Yeah, I thought, okay, it's stolen. Okay, he's like, I need money quickly for the casino. Yeah, okay. I'm like, really? It's stolen. Let me put my SIM card in. Okay, put my SIM card working. Yeah, working and fine. Yeah, right. And then I'm like, Galaxy S, it should be £600. Yeah, I thought I've got it for £100. Bargain, great. Do videos, whatnot, great camera, or what? Okay. I go to the shop. Wait. I go to the shop 2 days later to get a case for it and a cover. They're like, oh no, that's a clone phone. I was like, what the hell is a clone phone? They're like, yeah, they clone phones. You know, like fake clothes or trainers that these countries do. Yeah.
Phones. Yeah.
I've never heard. Bro, I'm dumb.
You didn't know
clone. Because I've been out of England and Latin America, I've never seen that stuff, a cloned phone before. I never heard of a fake phone. And yeah, it's a fake. So it works, but it's like, I've got an old Motorola from Colombia, my phone, that's a better phone. And I was like, so who makes them? It's Chinese that make them. Obviously it's Chinese, they make fake phones. So if I went to if I wanted to sell it back to a store or whatever, they'll pay 1,000 peso. Which is about £15. Basically, they'll buy it back off me for about.
So what's the camera like?
Max for £40 max. I paid over double that. Yeah.
What's the camera like?
I didn't know. So that's my advice: if you do not buy phones in the street. I mean, that's kind of done.
Bro.
But where am I from?
Come on,
You just think it's stolen. You just think it's robbed.
You're not gonna get away with that one. Nah. I'm not going to allow you to get away with that one. That is an S. What you've got there, right? My phone is S22. I believe what you've got there, the Samsung S20. Show the phone again. Show the phone again.
You should use the correct size. They
turn it around. Right.
Looks like
Hold on. That's a S22 and I think S23, right? Bro, you know how much them phones go for? I got S22, so I can tell you what I paid for mine.
Yeah, I know. It's hundreds. Yeah,
hundreds.
I know. Maybe I was drinking that night. The expression is too good to be true. But I've never heard of a clone phone. I genuinely had never heard of that. It even existed.
Bro. Come on. No. You're not going to get away with that. Nah. They do clone iPhones. You can get them on Temu and all of these from time.
Yeah, I did. Mate, I left 4 years ago, bro. So, and I was on.
It don't matter, man. Come on.
I didn't even know they existed. I do now.
So the question is the camera good on it? Is the camera good?
Nah, dead. dead. I didn't even know to test the camera. I was just, dead.
Nah,
It's
test the
rubbish.
camera though. Test the camera though. It might be better than what
No.
you got now.
No, it wasn't. I asked the girl in the store to check it. The camera I've got is better on my old phone, on my Motorola.
Oh.
Yeah, it's dead. It's dead. So I even said, so definitely don't put any banking apps on here or nothing. Like, nah.
Oh,
So just
hell
I
no.
keep it in the. I just watch YouTubes on it and whatnot, Tinder and things like that. That's
Is the
it.
pixel
Yeah.
is the pixel good? Is the pixel good when you watch YouTube?
It's 5 megapixels or whatever,
Oh.
and 40. Yeah, it's dead. It's dead
Oh.
compared to Anyway,
You got
I've
me.
lived and learned. Anyway, knowledge. People, I guarantee. Maybe you know, bro. There's other people in the West, in Britain, America, they've never heard.
Bro, you're not getting
phone.
away with that. You're not. No. I don't care what you say, right?
Yeah.
That phone is over a bag. There's no way someone's selling it quickly for £100. Hell no. Hell no. Hell
Yeah,
no.
exactly. He was mentioning to say, yeah, okay. I mentioned I was dumb. I was like, we all messed up, bro. We've all missed flights and things like that.
They got you. He got you. I don't want to hear about
Anyway.
you were drunk. I ain't accepting that. He got
I'm
you.
giving that to the people out there, yeah. I'm giving that so they don't mess up too.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. It's fake. They will make fake everything out here. Okay? Yeah? I've got other stories as well. I talked to some girls out here that I dated, and they used to work in a call center, and it was just all about scamming Westerners, British, Germans, Americans, scamming lonely British guys here on Tinder, send them Tinder, match them up, yeah? And it goes to another department, and it's all about love traps, honey traps, and then getting them to go on trading sites, yeah? And they rinse their money. They'll then use girls, like fake girls, models, and things like that to honey trap the guys. And guys have ended up live on stream. Killed them. They've spent every penny. Man, there's lonely men where we're from that are just kind of sad and lonely, yeah?
No, I've seen it. Mm-hmm.
And they everything. They every penny. Their objective is to rinse them. They're Chinese gangs, and they set up. Yeah, I know a girl who used to work in that city for three years. She worked there. I met them. So I'm gonna educate people about that. Do not. It's called Pagos. They're called. But Philippines is trying to outlaw it because they're involved in every kind of crime: gambling, scams, honey traps, everything you can think of. People trying to make money from this thing. So I've been learning out here. I learn from the locals. I meet the locals. I get to know them, and they tell me certain things of the scams that people do. And I was like, okay, well, they're trying to scam people from my country still. So I'm going to use that knowledge and tell them, you know what I mean? Do not get scammed by these people online. Do not do it. If they want you to go on a trading site, just if you want to play games with them and make them run around and think you're going to do it for a game or fun, do it. But I mean, you should just block them straight away. As soon as they mention trading or anything, block them. I've had a couple of girls message me out. No, Chinese girls, they mentioned their right to WhatsApp. Oh, I missed you. I missed your call. I didn't see you. It's trying to fake kind of conversation. Then you reply because it's a pretty girl or whatever. And they're trying to rope you in and get your info and this and that going to trading. So I got to the stage where they're trading before I knew about this stuff. So yeah. That's what kind of goes. People doing that stuff. Standard Chinese gangs. Yeah. So
well, we are approaching the 2-hour mark. So we're about to wrap up this interview with you. So what's your plans after when you leave Philippines? What's your plans? I mean, are you planning to stay there for long term?
I don't know if I'm going to leave. Here, you got every 30 days, you can do an extension. It's about £30, I think, to extend it every month. So for now, I'll be doing that. There's about a dozen spots people have told me about since I've been out here. Like, oh, you need to go here, Siargao, you need to go Cebu, you need to go here, there, everywhere. Yeah, and I'm like, okay, right. So there's a lot of places in Philippines. I need a lot of islands, beautiful beaches and mountains and all of that kind of stuff. Other cities and towns that are kind of fun that people go to. I've got a few friends coming to visit me next month. My brother's in Perth, Australia. He's going to come visit me as well.
Okay.
So I'm coming out here as well. My brother's into surfing, so we're going to go to a surf spot as well in the south of Philippines. So for now, bro, I might end up staying here. Who knows? Permanently, long term, I don't know. I'm going to see how it goes. I've already met some good people already that kind of want me to stay. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I got other people that say they come visit me next around Christmas time or January. So I'll probably still be here for a few months at least. It's expensive to get on planes and move to new countries. That's the expensive part of leaving the UK. Yeah, that is, once you get to the country and you get your Airbnb for a month, you find out where the supermarkets are, where the street food is, where the cheap spots to party are. That's when, but that kind of takes time. And you want to go to the nice spots as well when you first get here. So that's pricey, you know what I mean? It kind of costs money. But once you get that out of your system, then it can kind of chill out for a bit, you know what I mean? So I try and go to a new country as little as possible. You know what I mean? I've left 4 years ago. This is only my 4th country in 4 years. So I'll be here for a while still. But if I want to leave, it'll probably be that other part of Asia, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, and Thailand. They're all next to each other. They're all relatively cheap. Great
So
things about
just go
Vietnam.
bang, basically.
Just spend a few months in Vietnam, like 3 months in Thailand, do a few months in Cambodia and Laos, and then you can do it that way. You can stay out in these countries for a while still. So yeah, that's the way to do it. And you can travel by land or bus from these countries as well. So yeah. Philippines is island, so I'd have to get a plane from here to like Thailand or wherever, Vietnam. But for now, I'm in Philippines, and yeah, just enjoying life here, man. Very different to Latin America, but it's calm still. It's great experience.
Would you be, are you still working on your YouTube?
Yeah, I'm doing my videos, so I'm going to be getting the channel set up soon. And yeah, just advice on traveling, stuff about my experiences as well. So I definitely feel I've got a lot of knowledge that people need, basically. They want to leave England and do what I did, then, you know what I mean? It can be done. I'm doing it, so it can definitely be done, you know what I mean? And trust me, if you've got a kind of crappy life back in England, get the hell out. That's what I'm saying. Buy that ticket, yeah. Get your Airbnb, get your passport set up, get your travel insurance, yeah, and do it. Just get on that plane and go. These countries aren't scary places at all. They're way more fun. A boring night here is better than the most fun night you can have back in England. Trust me, it is. Trust me. So I recommend everyone to do it, at least for holidays. But if you want to leave and live there, do it as well. Trust me. It's the best thing you can ever do.
I mean, I should be popping out your ways at Oak. I gotta go and see my friend Skrilla and dropping on Taylor Made. So I'm going to Bali, Malaysia, and then Thailand.
Wow.
So I will be popping to Malaysia next year. Yeah. So
we might be in the same spot then. Definitely got to link up still.
Yeah, because my boy's out there, Skrilla's out there. I think he's more in Bali, but he goes to Malaysia a lot. And he told me Malaysia's really nice. Yeah, I'll plug you in. I'll put you in contact with him. Definitely.
Oh, okay, for sure. Yeah, my brother goes to. He's in Australia. That's like a big spot for people who live out in Australia.
He loves Bali. He told the pictures that he sent me of Bali, man, and Malaysia. Is really nice. You know, I mean, I've seen all the pictures and they're nice. So I'm definitely going to be reaching over there. Maybe February, my birthday, March. Not quite too sure, but I'm definitely coming out them sides next year though, because I'm going to Brazil. Flipping out in about 13-14 days. I'm in Brazil. What's the date today?
And how long are you going to be?
I'm in Brazil for a month.
Oh,
Yeah, come on,
wow.
man. You know I don't play, bro. Come on, man. You know I don't go nowhere. I don't do that 1 week, 2 week thing. I never do that. Nah,
good.
nah. I do staycations. So I'm going to Rio.
Mm.
Then I'm going to Nova. I can't pronounce Nova Iguaci.
Oh, okay. Is that the big waterfall? Is that the place?
I don't know, bro. All I know is like 20 minutes, half an hour outside of Rio. Iguaci, Nova,
Okay, okay.
Iguaci, maybe I'm not pronouncing it. Those in the comments, please. So I'm going there. Then I'm taking a trip to Manaus. Then I'm
The
going
Amazon.
to Recife.
Oh,
Then,
wow.
Recife, the port of chickens, Porto Galeo. Then I'm going to Salvador Bahia. Then back down to Rio. So yeah, I'm just ping ponging it, man. I wanna get as much education. You know, I'm new out the cradle. So for me, when I went to Brazil, even though I spent, there. I like it. Actually, let me not tell a lie. I love it. I ain't gonna lie. Coming from a big city, and I lived part-time in Paula Plala. So being in Paula Plala, everything was condensed. Everything is there. Beach town. And I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved it. Born in Tottenham, raised in Tottenham, coming from London. I come from a cosmopolitan place. I didn't think I'll ever look at another something. Man, I'm not gonna go and live that because it's not me. I'm from London. I want to run away from that, not run into it. So that's why Porta Plata suited me perfect. But going to Brazil, it was weird. It's like you had cosmopolitan, then you had the beach, then you got these big high-rise apartment buildings. Then when you come off Copacabana and you go into the back streets, you got all of these shops. I've gone into the city, I'm seeing all of these shops. Then you got these big mounds that come out the sea, and you're looking at it and you're thinking, I've never seen anything like that. Looks like something out of Avatar. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen a mound. It's like, that looks like something out of Avatar, man. And then you got the favelas. It's a mix of everything. What I got, and then especially when you go to Flamingo and Botafogo, I'm looking at the buildings because I used to live in Germany. So I'm looking at the buildings. The buildings are very, very European. Very European. So it gives me that European vibe, like that French mixed with Germany kind of buildings. You can see some buildings that are very German influenced, and then you can see some buildings that the French and the Portuguese kind of go hand in hand. So you can see these old colonized buildings. You can see it. You know what I mean? So you got a little dap of Europe dropped in, which I recognize because the buildings. I've been France, I've been Germany, I've been Luxembourg, I've been Switzerland. So I know Europe very well. So seeing that, and I'm like, wow. It's got everything that I need. I didn't think I would like a cosmopolitan place. And then if you go half an hour out, you're in Nova Iguaçu. Please, people, my pronunciation is it Nova Iguaçu?
The Cowboy went. He loves that spot. I think is that the one Cowboy goes to.
There you go. There you go.
I didn't make
there, which is more quieter. It's like semi-campo.
Yeah, I heard about that spot. Yeah. But Cowboy's the one. He knows that spot.
Yeah. Nice, man.
And then you got. And then you have. I went in Sao Paulo for a few days. The people in Sao Paulo are actually friendlier because they don't get much tourists in Sao Paulo. Like talking to people in the street, and like I'm really receptive to me. I could tell like they were like way more like Rio people are nonchalant. They see foreigners all the time. Most of the people like, oh, you know what I mean, just friendly. I was like, Sao Paulo is twice the size of Rio. All the people be less friendly, but they get less foreigners there, so they're kind of like just a bit receptive. It's more unique and different for them to be chatting to a British guy. So that was cool. Sao Paulo for a few days because obviously Sao Paulo is way more international than Rio. Rio's international. Sao Paulo's way for flights. It's a hub of the world. Yeah, there's certain hubs in the world, Dubai, that get the flights come in and out of. Sao Paulo is one of those hubs. So you go to Sao Paulo, and then I got my flight to 28 hours. Man, 28 hours. Like stopped off in Qatar and then carried on to Philippines. And I arrived in Philippines in a typhoon. It took me about 3 hours, 4 hours just to kind of get a taxi. I could have got a taxi but get robbed and paid like nearly £40 for a taxi, which should be around £5. I ended up paying about like £13 for a taxi. So I got robbed, but still not as bad as what they wanted originally. But I kind of had a bit of issues there. So, but it's fine. It was calm. It's another learning experience, as we say. And yeah, man. You're going to bare places. You're gonna have a great time still.
Oh man, I've got a long way to go. I got a long way to go.
Sure. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing. You're gonna be getting back to England, man. After that month. Don't even think about that.
I'm always willing to learn. I'm really excited. As I've always said, right? I'm not a traveler. I'm not. I'm like, you know, one of them old men that keep on going back to the same restaurant and ordering the same thing. They don't change what they will get a Coca-Cola, a burger and fries, and probably the apple pie to go. And they go to that same restaurant. That's me. I'm not a traveler. Traveling doesn't appeal to me. It doesn't. I'm only going to the Far East because it's something to tick off my box. Because I've always wanted to visit over there just to see Wagwan and come back. Do I think I'm ever going to go back there? I doubt it very much. I'm a type of person, once I found somewhere that I like, as I said, you know, the whole DR thing for me, DR for me was, it got draining. It got draining. It was just like money. Well, after your money, it just got draining. And I just said, you know, apart from other things that were happening in my life, you know, God doesn't make mistakes. When I went to Brazil, and I know Brazil's not perfect, I know there's a lot for me to learn, because I know there's a lot for me to learn. But when I got there, the bull crap that I had to deal with in DR, I didn't have to deal with in Brazil. I didn't come back to England and get 101 texts begging for stuff. I didn't get that. Now, I can't talk for anybody else. Maybe they got it or not. I didn't get that. Is that, oh, you all right? You arrived in England safe? You come? They even still hitting me up today. You know, I just... proper country. Yeah, people are not afraid to work.
Island, uneducated island, more or less, okay? Brazil is a proper country with proper cities, and it's just a different kettle of fish completely. So,
it's like someone said, chalk and cheese. Brazil versus Dominican Republic, it's chalk and cheese. Complete different. It's what someone told me, because I remember when I landed, I was with Cowboy, and he was in Barra de Juca. Oh, I love Barra de Juca. Barra de Juca is, sometimes I like to put on my shirt and my chinos and my loafers. You know, and Barra de Juca is that type of place, you know. Sometimes you want to, you know what I mean? You know how it go, you know. Sometimes you want to, you know. So I found some nice, sophisticated places there. I'm a grown man, you know, at the end of the day, and I don't want to be in jeans and trainers all the time. So I remember meeting cowboys friends out there. And they were like, "Oh, you from England?" And I was like, "Yeah." So they're asking what countries I've been. I said, "Oh, I used to live Dominican Republic part time." They went quiet. We're like, "Oh, like one of them said to me, they said, let me tell you something. All that, because they had experience in Dominican Republic. They said, all that crap you've been putting up with in Dominican Republic don't exist here. Now, we're not saying there ain't no women out here that they're on their bull crap, but they said about in Dominican Republic, 90% is bull crap. You have to find that 10%. They said in Brazil, 90% of them are okay and 10% bull crap. A lot of the women work, they don't beg, and they're independent. And I was like, you know what? From that's taken, you know what I mean? I don't have to deal with that. Which was a good thing. Which was a good thing,
Going on there. So it's just a different situation.
The word that I'm looking for is entitlement. Entitlement. I know the women that I've met were just like, they're working. They pay their own rent, they're working, they're not begging, when they text you, you all right? How is things? You good? Well, oh, okay, you're over. Okay, well, hit me up when you're over. And it's never been, oh, I'm this, I'm going through this, my mum's in hospital, empty fridge. Nothing. Or dry big. I've just not had it. And it's a breath of fresh air. It really is. And you know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you've been through it. You was living in Dominican Republic, so you know exactly what I'm talking about.
It's an island that's poor, so uneducated, so people don't even know any better. That's just what they do. So, but anyway, bro.
The entertainment, my God, like I said, we had a brilliant time, didn't break the bank at all. I remember walking out of that club, what was it? 8 in the morning. I swear it was 8 in the morning we walked out.
It was mad.
People were partying all night in Lapa. It was crazy. I actually still got that picture. I'll post it up.
It's great for partying, bro.
Man.
You want to party 2 weeks, 3 weeks, go out and party, get to Rio, you'll have a great time for sure. 100%.
Well, I'm still a baby in the cradle, so I'm looking forward to I've taken my first steps already, and I'm looking forward in under 2 weeks to doing it again, man. I just can't wait. Honestly, I can't wait to get out there. A whole month. I'm so excited.
Keep me updated. Yeah, definitely gonna be. I'm jealous, a little bit jealous. Back to spots I never went to. They're on my list, but you know what I mean. I was living out there, I was on shit or whatever, and I kind of get sucked into Rio day in day out, just living the life there. So I never got a chance really to get out there. The 6 months come up quick like that for me, type of thing. So sometimes when you go places for a shorter time, you kind of plan it out better, what you're gonna do and where you're gonna go. You know what I mean? So that's my advice to people. You're going for a short time like you. It's long for a staycation, but it's not living out there. So
it's not at all. No, it's not.
The time I went to Colombia, I went to 6 spots. The second time I went, I did nothing. I just stayed in Cali the whole time. So you know what I mean? That's the difference. Yeah, it's different. So when you go for a short, just plan it out. A few days here, a few days there, and you'll see a lot of places. You'll see a lot. You can learn a lot still and go to some amazing places. I'm definitely gonna go back to Brazil one day. So, but anyway, I'll have a guide now. I know where to go. I'll be learning off you. That's for sure.
Hopefully, by that time, when you come back, hopefully I'll be very versed in Brazil. I hope. Well, that's the plan. That's the plan, to be versed in Brazil.
I'll be educating myself on Manaus and Salvador, all of them spots. So
I'm definitely going to be hitting them spots.
That'll be amazing, bro. Amazing time for sure. Yeah.
Well, Damian, thank you very much. I wish you luck in all your endeavors in Philippines. Obviously, we talk off, away from this YouTube thing. So, yeah, man, I'll see you soon, and this ain't gonna be the last interview. I'm sure we'll hook up again for
Yeah.
updates on the Philippines. And well, knowing you, you might leave Philippines in the next 3 weeks. You might be elsewhere, so we'll definitely have to do an update on this. You know, definitely have to do an update for your journey so far. But yeah, man, it's been an honor to have you on Listen or Lose, and I hope people can take your story as inspiration, that are trapped, as TaylorMade likes to say, in the matrix, within our matrix of the United Kingdom, and they can take your story, use it for inspiration, and get a passport and start traveling. You know, definitely. So
The
thank
best thing
you again.
anyone. Definitely. It's been a pleasure, bro. It's been a pleasure. It's flown by. This 2 hours flown by, man. I've loved every
What was
minute
you
of
gonna
it.
say?
So...
What was you gonna say? If you was gonna say something.
No, I'm starting up my channel in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, anyone would be called Damian James for now. So keeping it simple, but yeah, anyone wants to know advice on my new channel or for traveling around the world, living on a budget, and just hearing about these spots. So I've got a lot of videos and photos and stuff from the spots I've been to. So I'm going to be sharing that. And yeah, it's going to be, I'm looking forward to it, for real. Everyone's saying I should have been doing this years ago, because they want to hear about what's going on in these countries, living in favelas and different places, and you know what I mean? I'm living there. That's the difference between me and people kind of go in and out. I live there with the people. So first-hand experience of what it's like for a Brit to be living with the people of these countries. And yeah, it's amazing. Best decision I ever made. So I want to share that with everyone, you know what I mean? So stay tuned.
Okay, my brother. And on that note, salute to you, and we'll touch base soon, my brother. Peace. Peace.
Bro, stay.